Insurance, providing blanket coverage of the entire White Mountains. Call Joe at 928-536-7101. That's 928-536-7101.
Remember your toy cars as a kid?
You'd make those things rocket across the living room floor, jump the coffee table, and drift under the sofa.
Now, you can't do all those things for real in a new hatch Toyota Corolla, but it's so much fun to drive, you might think you could.
Corolla is filled with tech, wrapped in safety, and has tons of options to make your Corolla your Corolla.
During Toyota's national sales event, get up to $1,000 cash back on a new Corolla.
Or financing as low as 1.9% APR for 60 months.
Or lease for $199 per month.
And receive a complimentary maintenance plan for 2 years or 25,000 miles on your new Corolla.
Plus, push it in, pull it in, drag it in, tow it in.
Hatch Toyota will take anything in on trade. As long as it runs on gas, we will take it in on trade.
Hi, this is Chaz Hatch. Get our statewide low price guarantee on every new Toyota. Find out more at hatchtoyota.com or visit us today at the Northern Arizona Auto Mall in Sholo.
Offers on approved credit plus tax, title, license, and $499 doc fee, lease for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer.
It couldn't be easier scheduling your next appointment at Summit Healthcare's Orthopedic Clinic. And Summit's new roster of orthopedic surgeons includes Dr. Jeffrey Cornelson. Dr. Cornelson brings experience and expertise specializing in joint replacement, arthroscopy, rotator cuff repair, ACL reconstruction, and much more. Schedule your next appointment now. Same day and next day appointments are available. Contact Summit Healthcare at 928-537-6700. That's 928-537-6700.
This is Sports Zone Radio. Champions play here at Sports Zone Radio. It's time to tee it up and kick it off. It's time for the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Presented by Hatch Toyota. Sports Zone Radio brings you unmatched coverage of football from around the White Mountains and beyond.
The year was 2011. Tim Tebow was still playing quarterback in high school, but he was about to become a legend. With his team behind 17-0, he was tackled and broke his leg. Despite the excruciating pain, he told his coach, "Don't take me out of the game, I want to play." Tim led his team back and scored the game-winning touchdown on a 20-yard run. The start of the Tim Tebow legend. This is Sports Zone Radio's Byron Brown with a message from Beeler Orthodontics in Sholo. A message to every young White Mountains athlete to never give up. Beeler Orthodontics. Live life with a smile.
It's time to tee it up and kick it off. It's time for the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Presented by Hatch Toyota. Sports Zone Radio brings you unmatched coverage of football from around the White Mountains and beyond. No one does it like Sports Zone Radio. And now you can live stream HD video of our broadcast coverage exclusively at SportsZone123.com and on the Sports Zone Radio mobile app. All part of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Chaz Hatch refuses to lose a deal over $1. Hard-hitting broadcast coverage of White Mountains football is up next. Now, let's take you out to the field and join our broadcast team for tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome into tonight's broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Floyd Simmons getting set to call play-by-play on tonight's matchup of the number 9 ranked Winslow Bulldogs as they get set to take on number 12 Blue Ridge tonight here at Emil Nasser Stadium in Winslow. Welcome into our broadcast coverage, and I want to say hello and welcome to my broadcast partner tonight. He is no stranger to Sports Zone Radio and no stranger at all to football in Northeast Arizona, having one time been a head coach of the Winslow Bulldogs. He knows the Blue Ridge program quite well himself, and he is B.J. Little.
Thank you, Floyd.
The judge.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Floyd. Thank
How
you for having me tonight. Doing very well.
Welcome into the broadcast, my friend. And tonight out here on the field, tonight on this beautiful turf, they have installed the turf. I don't know how long ago they did that, but it's beautiful here at Winslow High School. And BJ, this is an opportunity with a pretty big audience, I would say. I think we're going to have a rather large audience statewide and certainly across the White Mountains. If coaches and fans of football in Northeast Arizona aren't here and aren't coming to the game tonight, they're certainly going to be watching the high-definition video coverage from Sports Zone Radio tonight, because this is a big one right now. And I think that it's not a stretch to say that it's going to be a playoff-type game for these two teams. The Yellow Jackets, as I said, are number 12. Winslow's number 9. Whoever wins the game is certainly going to help themselves, probably be in that top 10. If Winslow wins, they should stay in the top 10. Blue Ridge wants to increase their chances because they've got the bulk of a very tough 3A East region schedule coming up. Am I saying too much if I suggest that this is a playoff-type game for these teams?
No, Floyd, I think you hit it on the head. I mean, we're right here in the middle of the season where there's Game 4, Game 5 right now for both teams. And really where your kids at, what they're capable of doing before they start making that big push for the playoffs. But I think tonight's ball game would definitely put either team right now, on that correct interstate to the playoffs.
So these teams are playing for a lot tonight, and they're also playing, I think, to prove some things to themselves and to other people around the East region. Winslow is off to another fine start, and that's just kind of business as usual. The Bulldogs are used to getting out of the gates fast, early. A lot of times they have a favorable schedule that allows for that to happen, and we've seen them do some good things. The Bulldogs are coming off of a loss to the Show Low Cougars. As we throw a graphic up to let you know that tomorrow night we're going to be broadcasting from Show Low High School, where the number 4 ranked team in the state will host the number 2 Round Valley Elks. More on that coming up here in a little bit. But as we focus on tonight's action, tonight's activity here, the Bulldogs, they want to make a statement. And there's no question, people across Northeast Arizona know, BJ, that Blue Ridge is down. And they are down in a number of ways, particularly with just numbers. I mean, they were thin to start with, and they have a number of guys either injured or hobbled, some that are playing. And I got to tell you, BJ, this is not your classic Blue Ridge team, but anytime you beat Blue Ridge, it's a feather in your cap, and it certainly feels good in the program. What do you think it would mean to Winslow to be able to knock off the Yellow Jackets here tonight at their place? You know what, Floyd, I think the history still applies to Winslow. I think for numerous years, you sort of measure where your ball club's at, when you get an opportunity to play against Blue Ridge. And I think that is still set in the heart and the mind of the Winslow Bulldogs to really see where his ball club is at. I really think Coach Guzman has done a fine job with these group of kids, all right? Especially after the Holbrook game, it seemed like there was a little letdown defensive-wise, but then they come back with an absolutely great performance against Show Low on the defense side of the ball and an astonishing performance over in Flagstaff in the Dome against a highly ranked number 14 Flagstaff Eagles, where that defense bowled their back and played very well. Yeah, how about that win, by the way, as we watch the Bulldogs come out? And a great entrance, to be honest with you. Look at it. It looks good. Of course, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you've got the pink numbers on the jerseys for the Bulldogs here tonight, and we'll see the Yellow Jackets come out here soon as well. They won't have that kind of entrance, on the visitors' field, but the Yellow Jackets are going to be ready to take on this Bulldogs team. So Flagstaff was ranked high, and Winslow beat them at the Dome. 2-point victory for the Bulldogs. Well, last week as well, the Yellow Jackets went to Prescott, and they took on what was then the undefeated and I think number 6 ranked team in 4A football. They were a top 10 ranked team, the Prescott Badgers, and Blue Ridge went over there, got a 15-0 halftime lead, and held on and beat that Badgers team 15-13. What did that say about the quality of football in the 3A East? And what that said is the coaching ability of both coaches on both sides of the ball. All right, you have Coach Hathcock there for Blue Ridge. If your ball club is going through adversity, dealing with shortening, there's no better coach that I can speak of than Mr. Coach Hathcock. He's a great guy. He gets his kids ready to compete every night,
You know, and for them to go on the road in the atmosphere of Prescott and take on a highly ranked Prescott Badgers and come out with the victory over there, that says a lot about his ability to get his young man, you know, ready to go.
So my broadcast partner tonight, B.J. Little, who was at one time the head coach of the Winslow Bulldogs and has also coached in the Holbrook Roadrunners program, but more importantly played for the mighty Roadrunners back in the day, before going on to have a very successful collegiate football career as well. B.J., you played in Missouri, right?
Yes, sir.
And so I mean, you know, football across Northeast Arizona, it's in your blood, man.
Yeah, it is. You know, though it's a Thursday night, I think it's fair to say Friday night always means something to us at this time of the year. All right, you always think about high school football on Friday nights. And growing up in Holbrook, as my partner you did, you know, we had an opportunity to talk about how competitive, you know, we really were back then, you know, and it's good to be here on a Thursday night, but have that Friday night feeling to see a very good. I think this will be an outstanding ball game tonight.
You mentioned Coach Brandon Guzman of Winslow a couple of moments ago. After the defeat at Flagstaff last week, after knocking off the Eagles, he proclaimed his Winslow Bulldogs team, at least this is what I heard reported in media, he proclaimed the Bulldogs as the kings of I-40. How do you like that?
It's true.
He had already defeated the Holbrook Roadrunners,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Earlier on in the season in a shootout. They scored 90-plus points combined, Winslow and Holbrook did. That Holbrook team is off to a great start this year. We'll talk about them eventually. As we get ready for the national anthem here at Emil Nasser Stadium, Winslow High School, the home of the Bulldogs, and the national anthem.
All right, let's give him a big hand. That was pretty.
Live tonight at Winslow High School. Welcome in, everybody. Floyd Simmons along with B.J. Little, my broadcast partner, as we get set to bring you the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast presented by Hatch Toyota. And a great list of additional sponsoring partners that help make it possible for us to get on the road, come to a place like Winslow and bring you this broadcast. We want to say thank you to Winslow High School and the athletic department here, Coach Guzman, and boy, the great people at Winslow that are so welcoming to Sports Zone Radio. This is a great community, BJ. Great school district, but the community of Winslow has always been friendly to the visitor, and certainly to us here at Sports Zone Radio, and I can't thank them enough around here.
And you know what, Floyd, I do echo that. You know what, when it comes to the people of Winslow, you know, they really have great people here in the city of Winslow. You know, they're always welcome, always willing to give a helping hand. You come in, they greet you with a handshake and a hug. You know, you can't say much about the community in Winslow, the members here in Winslow.
Well, the kick is up and underway. The pooch kick is bobbled a bit and covered up just inside the 30-yard line by the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Winslow had won the opening toss. they deferred. Blue Ridge got that opening kick, and we are set to go here at Winslow High School. Welcome into the broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week.
You know what, Floyd, I really think this early in the first quarter we determine, how this game is really going to go for the Winslow Bulldogs. I know the Winslow Bulldogs really play tough when they're up top. But it's just one of those situations. Seems like they struggle in the past when they have to come back. But when they're on top and they're able to hold the lead, it appears that Winslow Bulldogs really play hard. So it's really interesting to see how they come out and what they do early in today's ball game.
Well, the Yellow Jackets got the ball at the 30-yard line to start things out. First give of the night belongs to Cody Wallace. He goes straight up the middle for the Jackets, and he got 9 yards all the way out to the 39-yard line. And just like that, Blue Ridge playing with that now 3 weeks into the double wing running formation. They've got the ball, and they'll toss it. And that is going to go straight across the left side and up over across midfield, and it turns into a 14-yard gain to the Winslow 47-yard line.
Early in this game, Floyd, you know what? Coach Hathcock is not hiding his hands what he's all about and what he's getting his kids to do. It's just traditional Blue Ridge football. We're going to come up, fit up on you, and we're going to run the ball right at you.
Well, that 14-yard gain a moment ago was Seth Slaughter on the carry.
Nice tackle by
and now the Yellow Jackets will take it straight up the middle. I believe carrying the ball on that particular play was Cody Wallace, and he takes it 4 yards ahead to the 43-yard line of Winslow. And we'll get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout real quick. Opening possession of the game for the Yellow Jackets, and Coach Hathcock, referenced a moment ago in his first year as the Blue Ridge head coach, has to grab a timeout here on a 2nd down and 6 situation. Welcome in, everybody, to Winslow High School. And having issues at the moment with the clock you see there, and we'll just keep you apprised of how much time, the actual time there is on the clock right now, 11 minutes and 7 seconds here in the first quarter at Winslow, the home of the Bulldogs.
Floyd, and the early timeout is, it doesn't surprise me with Coach Hathcock. And, those are some of the things, for him to be the play caller, he really in tune of what his opponents is doing and trying to figure them out early. Once he figures out, his opponents, it becomes some problems for the opponents.
Hunter Martinez is the junior quarterback for the Bulldogs. He hands off to Seth Slaughter. Slaughter is grabbed from behind the backside defensive end. You see him peel himself up from the pile there. That is Rudy Gonzalez.
So, that's
after a 2-yard gain.
That's both Rudy Gonzalez and I think, Gage Thomas was both on that stop. And I think their middle linebacker Gage Thomas has been really playing solid football for the Bulldogs and anchoring in that defense.
I believe that's Seth Slaughter getting the carry. And it is, and Seth is going to take it on a 3rd down and 4. He is very near a first down. In fact, I think he got 5 yards on the carry, and he did pick up the first down. So the ball moves ahead, second first down of the opening drive of the game for the Yellow Jackets, and they are moving deeper into Winslow territory. This Yellow Jackets team with a 4-2 record on the season overall. Could easily be 5-1. They lost a game to start the season against Safford that they had numerous opportunities to win that game. Here is a handoff to the fullback, straight ahead.
And that was a torrential downpour that game, man. And I think turnovers really plagued them in that game, especially hurt them late.
Franco Harris gets his first carry of the night for the Yellow Jackets. Franco takes it straight up the middle, 5 yards the gain on the play. If you are new to Blue Ridge football and you hear that name, Franco Harris, who wears number 32 like the original Franco Harris did, there's one big difference. Maybe there's more as we watch Seth Slaughter get the pitch, go around the left side. There is a collision, a lot of traffic out there. He is near the line to gain for the first down, but I think he's just going to be shy of it. So we'll give him credit for 4 yards on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 1, but the one glaring difference between, as you take a look at a replay of something that happened in the pregame, obviously not the last play we saw. At 3rd down 1 coming up. I'll tell you that big difference in the two Franco Harrises is Franco gets it for the Yellow Jackets here on 3rd down and very short. He's going to move the chains on a nice gain. And we'll see where they spot him down. Looks like the 23-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 yards for Franco Harris. You know what the big difference between this Franco Harris and the original?
Yeah, the curly hair.
The curly hair would be that would be one. The big difference is the spelling of the first name, okay?
Okay.
The original Franco spelled it with a C. And this one spells it with a K.
K-O.
Okay. That's right. Franco with a K. Here's the toss, traffic in the middle, and the cutback for the ball carrier. And I think that's going to be Cody Wallace getting a carry. Again, his second carry of the game. And Cody is good for 5 yards for the Yellow Jackets as they keep the march on. Here comes the 10th play of their first possession of the game.
This is just tiresome for your defensive opponent when the offensive team just continue to run. But I tell you one thing about it, it's but I tell you, after this big play, that was a big run.
Well, Seth Slaughter is going to get the carry as you take a close-up look at Seth there. And Seth able to advance the ball inside the 10-yard line. The Yellow Jackets are going to set up 1st and goal. That was actually a 14-yard gain on the play for Seth, as the Yellow Jackets have used 3 different runners in this opening sequence. Everybody getting a shot at it, and they will draw the defense offside. It was 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. That's going to move the ball to the 2-yard line as Martinez walks up, barks out the call, and just about the entire defense moved across.
Yeah, that was just a very heavy play and disciplined play by the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, to go, especially down in the red zone. You got your kids geared up, ready to push the ball in the end zone. All right, then you go off 2 very disciplined of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
Blue Ridge, and to give up the middle to the fullback, I believe that's Franco Harris getting the carry, and Franco is going to be turned away.
And that was a great job by the interior defense line of Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, led by Rudy Gonzalez on that play.
Well, I'm trying to see. I think he may have gotten the ball to the 1-yard line. Vantage point is not the best where we're at. We're going to say no gain, I guess, on that. On the previous play. No gain on the play for Harris, as they give it up the middle this time on the trap. And I believe that's Seth Slaughter. And Slaughter is going to take it in for the 2-yard Blue Ridge touchdown.
And you know what? You have to give the guys up front credit for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets who just come out and fire off the ball, engage, and move and change the line of scrimmage early in the game. I think Coach Guzman will bring his interior defensive line over, and I think they'll make some adjustments.
Seth Slaughter takes it in from 2 yards out for the Yellow Jackets as they cap off a 12-play, 4-minute, and 47-second opening possession, and get the points on the board. And they will try the kick for the point after, and the low line drive kick is up, and it's good. And the Yellow Jackets have the first points of the game, 7-0 as we open up the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week on a Thursday night in Winslow. Everybody stand by. We'll be back to Winslow with more coming up right after this. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Hatch Toyota is proud to be part of the Show Low community. Owner Chaz Hatch was born and raised in the White Mountains and is a Show Low High alumnus. He knows that local businesses are the lifeblood of a community. So Hatch Toyota takes pride in our efforts to be responsible citizens by being a consistent supporter of nonprofit organizations, schools, and local charities whose efforts benefit our local residents. Hatch Toyota provides jobs for your neighbors, purchases from local businesses, and pays local taxes to support schools, first responders, local arts, and children's sports. Whether you live in Show Low, Pine Top, Alpine, or anywhere in the White Mountains, this is where the dollars you spend with us go, back into the community. So when it's time for the purchase of a new or pre-owned vehicle, come to the dealership run by your neighbors that support your community. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall and at hatchtoyota.com. Keeping the White Mountains rolling for over 30 years.
Back into Winslow, everybody. Floyd Simmons, B.J. Little, and a 7-0 lead for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets over Winslow. And a marker is down, thrown on the far side. What did you see? Nobody was offside, BJ. What did you see? A delay or maybe some unflattering?
Right.
Well, that was a delay.
Right. Exactly.
Took too much time. I don't think I've ever seen that on a kickoff before.
I have not. I've seen offside several times, but a delay.
I don't think I've ever seen that. The other thing that I saw, which is a rarity, is that the official, one of the side judges from the far side of the field, he threw the flag. Then he came out with the black hat, and he gave the indication, while the referee with the white hat didn't do anything, didn't say anything.
Yeah, and I think the white hat did not want to run all the way down the field.
So after a 5-yard mark-off for delay a game, that same official has blown his whistle. I don't see his flag out, but blew his whistle, and maybe they got going too early, or was there somebody offside? They went too early, didn't they?
No, I think the ball fell off the tee when he was approaching it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's...
Well, there's that then. Yeah. Hey, there really isn't any wind to speak of, not that I can detect.
There's always wind in Winslow somewhere.
Here's the kick, fielded at the 20-yard line, high and short, and a great stiff arm on the return. Another very good stiff arm, and the third one wasn't a charm, but a nice return anyway for the Bulldogs, and bringing it back was Micah Johnson.
And I would tell you, you know what, this is one of the exciting electric players from the Winslow Bulldogs, Micah Johnson. He's really been doing a lot of special things, especially on the special teams, punt returns and kick returns. You know, he's a great athlete.
Well, Micah is a name that I was warned we're gonna hear a lot and see a lot from this young man tonight, and I can't wait to see what he has to offer as his team is set up at 43-yard line, and Johnson will go split out to the left. And the Dogs will hand it straight up the middle. Run into a wall of Yellow Jacket defenders, and the guy that got the carry straight up the middle, if I'm not mistaken, is Gage Thomas. He took the handoff from the quarterback, Jace Lyons, and advanced the ball 2 yards on the play. Ball resting just inside the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Floyd. It was not much running room in the interior side of the defense. Really did a great job.
From under center, Lyons has it, and he delivers the ball up the field. It looked like it was catchable, but the catch was not made. It goes incomplete on the far side of the field, and that'll stop the clock here in the first quarter with 6:24 on the clock and a 7-0 Yellow Jacket lead.
And I think Jace Lyon did a great job by reading his coverage on that. It seemed like he wanted Micah Johnson earlier, then he checked down to something that was inside it, and I just think that was a great decision on his part. Just the receiver has to come down with the ball on that play.
The Bulldogs looking at third down and a little better than 8 yards to go. And Lyons will look left all the way, step up with the pressure coming, and now deliver a ball right at the line to gain. And I think that's going to be a first down. It will be to the Yellow Jacket 47-yard line if the spot that I'm seeing is the one that the official goes with, and that is Chris Ariano on the receiving end. And they are going to say it's just enough yardage. 8 yards, the gain on the play, and that is a Bulldog first down.
And I think Chris Ariano is probably one of the better receivers that the Winslow Bulldogs have. It seems like Micah Johnson is the one player that they like to take the top off the defense, but it appears that Chris Ariano is one of the possession receivers who definitely makes a lot of catches underneath.
Thomas has the carry here on first down with the ball in Blue Ridge territory. So just as the Yellow Jackets were able to advance the ball, not just into Bulldog territory, but eventually to the end zone, well, the Bulldogs have taken it onto that Yellow Jacket half of the field. The ball is going to move just past the original line of scrimmage. We'll call this one a no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Bulldog offense. Johnson split out left for the Bulldogs. And a quick toss this side to him. And he is going to come up with a nice stiff arm on young David Simmons, the sophomore cornerback on this side of the field. David did a good job to fight off the stiff arm and make the tackle. It ends up being a 6-yard gain on the play. I know that young kid, number 10 there, David Simmons. He eats food at my house a lot.
I think number 10 did a great job of tackling that. An athlete who's elusive as Johnson in an open field like that. As a corner, that's what you want to do. It's like you playing soft coverage, just come up and make the tackle. And I think Simmons did an absolutely wonderful job of making that tackle in open field.
And a nice delivery on the opposite side of the field this time. Boy, Winslow is getting a lot of different players involved. Is that Aiden Falaha that was on the receiving end of that? I'm positive who caught that pass.
I think it's number 7, Keaton Kissenberry, that caught the ball. Nope.
I think it was Falaha.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's good for 11 yards on that game. Ran a great route. Broke off the route just where he needed to and picked up the first down. The ball is just right outside the Yellow Jacket 35-yard line. Great job, Coach Guzman, Winslow, with the initial play calling in this. And now he'll sprint the quarterback out left. Jace Lyons, now he'll drop, looking downfield, pump fake, and he ends up going down right at the 30-yard line. That's Franco Harris who came up to make the stop on him. Lyons adjusting his face mask a bit. He got popped pretty good on that play.
And that's one thing Franco Harris can do. I have seen him play several times, and Franco Harris, he can't put a hit on you. But it was a great job about Jace, getting positive yards out of that play. It seems like Blue Ridge was able to take the coverage away, but it was a great job by the quarterback, Jace, to keep the play alive.
Second down. Here is the fake it, and the give will go around the left side this time, and that's a big gain for Chris Arellano.
But I think it'll be a holding call on this play that's going to be coming back.
Well, that's unfortunate because that was a 20-yard pickup on a great call. Again, this is just a great opening sequence for the Bulldogs. Ball in the wrong hand, right? But still worked out pretty well.
But I think the offensive coordinator, Mr. Coach Sawyer, he's doing a good job of finding, soft areas in the passing games where he can get to, then come back with the run. So I just think he's doing a great job of mixing up and staying balanced between both run and pass.
Well, that holding penalty brings it back to a 2nd down and 11. The Yellow Jackets, they'll take this a whole lot more so. And Winslow wants to throw, looked right, and now Lyons will sidearm it out to the left side. And the tackle is made out of bounds on Arellano. And the guy that came up to make that tackle was Jace Barton. And a pretty good pickup on that play. How about a gain of right at 9 yards?
No doubt about it. This is going to be even if it's 4th down, they're going to go for it in this area. I think the Winslow Bulldogs are feeling comfortable in their ability to move the ball against the Blue Ridge defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they'll give it to Arellano, left side, and he's got the first down. Tackle made out here on this side of the field by David Simmons. And this one will go to about the 20-yard line. That's a nice pickup. And another first down for a Bulldogs offense that is finding the going just about as easy as the Yellow Jackets did when they had their opening possession. Way different approach, but nonetheless working out well. The ball at the 19-yard line of Blue Ridge.
Yeah, right now it's really, take your hats off to Coach Guzman to really get his kids, excited to come back, especially after giving up a touchdown early, with offense come back.
Bit of a modified RPO, and that is to Arellano once again. He'll go around the right side, and out there is one of those Yellow Jacket defenders to bring him down, Cody Wallace, who has to get an assist to get up off the turf. And is he back on the turf? I think he may be. Slow in getting up. Maybe leaving the field. The Yellow Jackets have been plagued with injury repeatedly.
And I don't think Coach Hathcock can afford to lose another guy. It's almost like you losing 2 positions, both offense and defense, when a kid goes down.
Play action on 2nd and 5. And the catch is made by the Bulldogs. And a good job to fight off the initial attempt by David. Arellano is able to escape Simmons, and then David got up and he turned around and he got in on the tackle. But the ball did go down to the Ball down to the 7-yard line. And another first down for the Bulldogs as they keep the momentum going. So they pick up the first down. It's first down and goal now. Ball at the 8-yard line of Blue Ridge. Final minute and 2 seconds of the opening quarter. They'll reverse the ball. And into the end zone go the Bulldogs on their opening drive of the night. And they went about it the long way for sure. They took quite a bit of time to get it down the field. And Brian Larson is the guy. He didn't figure into anything else but the touchdown play on that opening drive for the Bulldogs.
But I will tell you, Brian Larson has really been playing absolutely wonderful football for the Bulldogs. Right? I know he had a really big game against the Flagstaff Eagles, and he did a great job against Sholo, also in the passing game and the running game. But it was a great job, for Coach Sawyer, who's the offensive coordinator, to keep the balance, using numerous of players in the running game and also different type of players in the passing game.
Points on the board for the Bulldogs. A word in from our friends at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass after the score. And we're just under 1 minute remaining in the first period. At 7-7, the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
What do tickets to the Willis Farm in Snowflake, tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and tickets to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert all have in common? Well, this month, when you use the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass to replace your insured windshield, you have a shot at getting them all. This month, everyone who gets an insured windshield replaced gets 2 tickets to the
Willis Farm Haunt, Night of Pestilence.
And then your name goes in the hat to be drawn for an escape to Las Vegas, where you will have lower level premium tickets to the December 11th championship night of the National Finals Rodeo. And fantastic tickets that same weekend to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert on their last tour. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today, 536-5972.
52 seconds remain in the first quarter. This matchup on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, everybody. We're at Winslow High School tonight. The Bulldogs, ranked number 9 in the state, battling the number 12 ranked Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. And we welcome you all into our broadcast coverage of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Hatch Toyota. Let's close out this first quarter with the Yellow Jackets on that short return, taking it out to their 33-yard line.
And it appeared that Frank O'Hara's got up a little bit limpy on that, in which he's over the sideline right now, getting looked at by the medical team. And hopefully for Coach Hathcock that Franco is doing okay.
Well, it's going to go straight up the middle. And on this first down carry by, I believe, Sam Montoya, that's a 5-yard pickup, goes out to the 38-yard line. 5 yards the gain. I know that Coach Hathcock will take a 5-yard pickup on every single play if he can get it. And now second down and 5. They'll toss it. And on that little scissors, a little inside reverse, Montoya has it. He's got the first down as he gets upended at the 45-yard line. That's a gain of 7 on that play. And for the Yellow Jackets, they'll move the chains as they approach midfield. And we've got the final 12 seconds ticking off the clock here in the first quarter, everybody. It's been good to have you with us as we get it rolling tonight here at Winslow High School. And we'll get the sound of the gun here as time expires. I guess it's not so much a gun as it is a siren. And we'll take a quick time out, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Tonight's broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. And as we go out to a break, remind you the score is tied 7-7. The Yellow Jackets have the ball for a second time. Back here with the second quarter on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Hatch Toyota doesn't have salespeople. We've changed how to buy a car. Now a floor product specialist works with you, and they aren't commissioned.
They're on salary, so when you're approached on the lot or in the showroom, you don't have to panic. Nobody's going to give you the bump and hustle to get you to sign on the dotted line because there's simply no pressure to do so. Hatch Toyota is taking the long view.
The view that involves your complete satisfaction with the whole buying experience. An experience we'd even be so bold to call happy. Who doesn't want to be happy?
And buying a new car is a really happy day. It's time to take the stress out of the day and put in the joy. Shop ahead at hatchtoyota.com. Our entire fleet is at your fingertips.
Then let us know which model you're interested in and make an appointment with one of our floor product specialists.
Hatch Toyota, keeping the White Mountains rolling for 25 years.
Hi, this is Chaz Hatch. Get our statewide low price guarantee on every new Toyota. Find out more at hatchtoyota.com or visit us today at the Northern Arizona Auto Mall in Sholo.
Well, on first down, the Yellow Jackets get a big gain up the middle from Seth Slaughter as we start the second quarter, everybody. And Seth will take it 15 yards to the Bulldog 40-yard line. Welcome in to the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
And I think Seth Slaughter has been doing an excellent job early, finding the holes, getting in the holes, and running the football.
Again, a 15-yard gain. We get a whistle. And an offside on the defense.
Bulldogs. Marching back 5 yards.
So the Yellow Jackets get 5 more yards. Let's move the ball a bit closer to recapturing the lead here against the Bulldogs. We're tied 7 apiece as the second quarter gets underway. Sam Montoya will have it. Goes around the right side, cuts it back right up the middle, and Montoya will go down with a 4-yard gain. He's down to the 31-yard line before the Bulldog defense gets there and make the stop.
And this is the type of offense, that really hurts the defense when they can't locate where the ball's at. When you have all those big bodies up front who gets off the ball very well, in which Blue kids are currently doing right now, it becomes issues for those linebackers to locate the ball and fit up on the running back.
Yeah, something about that I'm going to mention as well after we watch Hunter Martinez line him up. Toss it to Cody Wallace. He's got the first down, and he is spun down after a pickup of 5 yards on the play. Wallace takes it ahead. First down for the Jackets. Ball approaching the Bulldog 25-yard line. But one of the things I'm a little surprised at early on in this game, to watch all that traffic in the middle, it's a double-wing offensive set. We get a timeout from the Bulldogs on defense. We'll stay right here with it. BJ, Coach Little. I'm surprised at how much space there is to run between the tackles for the Yellow Jackets, at least initially. They're not really getting contact, it seems, until they get 2-3 yards into the second level of that Bulldog defense.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, as a defensive coordinator, you see the offense starting to move the ball by being in this set, and it just seems like you start adding more people into the box on the defense side of the ball, and once your ball carrier can get to the second level, all right, it's all positive yards for them then. But for an offense like this, you have to put and give credit to the offensive line. I mean, none of this will happen, without the offensive line firing out, fitting on, moving people up, changing the line of scrimmage.
Well, the strength of the Yellow Jacket team is their offensive line, and this offense is designed to take advantage of that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And, and it's just one of the things that, Winslow Bulldog has some very talented defensive linemen, but they're young. They're young, and they're going to be great football players, all right? And they have been doing a wonderful job. But this is different offense that they have seen to this point.
How about Cody Wallace taking it 11 yards on that carry, on that gain? Doing a great job. You'll watch there on the replay. Watch that strong finish. Just carrying one defender, taking a couple of more of those Bulldog defenders to bring him down, and he gets the ball to the 16-yard line. First down right there for the Yellow Jackets.
And Winslow really need to be careful on the pass right here. It's just, when you just have a positive yards and, you engage, mentally on the running game, it's like something that opens up in the passing game.
Well, the tendency is with every play run out of that double wing for that Yellow Jacket offense, the tendency becomes to creep a step closer, right? The safety, the linebackers, everybody start loading that box more and more and more, especially with the success that we're watching the Yellow Jackets have on offense. That was a 2-yard gain for Cody Wallace.
Exactly.
Second down 8.
Now you look at it, you probably have 22 people within the 10-yard radius of each other.
Seth Slaughter, he's going to cut it back, and he's got some yardage. Not much, but maybe 2. How about 2 yards to the 11-yard line for Seth? And it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Yellow Jackets.
And that was a great defensive play right there by Michael Mendoza. You know, I think he's a defensive tackle who was able to shed off a few blockers and make his way to the football.
I think I just heard one of the Burlington Northern engines.
Yeah.
Tooting a horn right there. We're not that far away from the railroad, are we?
You're hearing frequently.
Absolutely. Well, that's part of life in Winslow and in places like Holbrook as well. You're going to hear the trains all day long.
Yes, you will.
Get an offside on the defense once again. That's the third time in this first half, BJ, that the Yellow Jackets have either drawn off or the Bulldogs have just, put themselves offside. And that'll bring up third down and a yard. Now with the ball at about the 6.5 yard line.
Well, you got a defense side of the ball, who's really trying to figure out a way to stop the running game. So they're trying to get off the ball and change the line of scrimmage a little bit faster. And it's a great job by Coach Hathcock, to go on too.
Seth Slaughter will get the carry this time. And for the first time today, we see the Yellow Jackets pushed backward by that Bulldog defense. That'll be a loss of a yard on the play. It'll bring a third down fourth down. Fourth down and a long two. Now this is decision time. The Yellow Jackets have a pretty good kicker. You saw him the first time out. Saw him launch a line drive. Came off a lot lower than what they like to see. But I don't see the place kicking team coming on at all for the Yellow Jackets. They're going for it on fourth down and about 2.5 yards. So Martinez, the quarterback, will line him up. The double wing. They're going to toss it coming from right to left, and I don't think they got there. Jace Barton from the right side was given the task to try to pick up that first down, and he got a yard on the play, and that's it. And the Bulldogs, they bent some more, but they did not break, and they will get the ball back with a very long field in front of them. They got it about the 7.5 yard line.
That was a great defensive play by Carlin Timms, who really shed off the blockers and was able to get his nose in there on the football. Great defensive play. But, I just think that's just the identity, of Coach Guzman. As a coach, the kids will never give up. They're going to continue to fight. They're going to continue to battle. And they showed it right there on that play where they did an excellent job of fitting up, shedding blockers, and making the tackle right there inside the red zone.
Well, the Bulldogs got it back at just shy of their own 8 yard line, and they hand the ball off straight up the middle to Gage Thomas here on first down, and Thomas gets 4 yards for the Bulldogs. And, the Yellow Jackets took 5 minutes and, let me check it for you, 5 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock on that very long drive. You just hate, if you're the Yellow Jackets, if you're their fan, if you're their coaches especially, you hate to see a drive go that deep and take that much time and come away with nothing to show for it. Here's the give, and that is going to be a nice pickup over the near side. A first down gain out to the 23-yard line. Let's see, that's a pickup of 12 yards on the play, and it's Thomas once again carrying for the first down.
And I would tell you, I'm really impressed with this Gage Thomas kid, all right? He's a hard-working kid. He anchors the defense side of the ball, all right? He really does a good job running the ball. As you can see on that last play, it was a positive. He just put his head and ran north and south, all right? And it was just a great job by Gage Thomas.
Watch the matchup on the far side, the young sophomore cornerback. And the guy he's covering is Johnson. They're going to throw a swing pass out on that side as Johnson cleared out, and a big hit from behind is put on the receiver. The guy that caught the ball was Chris Arellano, and he got taken down pretty hard, and a 4-yard gain on the play. I believe that is Herschel Gregg on the tackle.
And I will tell you, I have seen Herschel Gregg play on several occasions. All right, he's a young man that plays the middle linebacker position. But if he's there in a tackle, he's there. All right, he's just one of those kids, that his ability to tackle, his ability to hit, just makes it sound different.
Second down at 7, and the pass is swung out near side to Arellano, and he gets hit immediately. And I think that might have been Herschel again. It was Herschel Gregg with the tackle on actually Gage Thomas. Sorry about that. I said Arellano, but it was Thomas, the guy who ends up making that tackle. And it'll be third down and a very long 2 yards to go. The ball for Winslow at their own 31-yard line.
And I think this is a key defense to stop early, all right? You just now had Blue Ridge, who gets stopped inside the red zone. And I just think this play right here will be a key player for both Winslow and Blue Ridge.
All right, 3rd down. And 2.25 yards to go. And the Bulldogs are going to drop the Yellow Jackets offside. A couple of guys went offside, including Peja Hinton, who's really played well for the Yellow Jackets here this year. 5-yard mark off to the 36-yard line, and Winslow returns the favor. The Yellow Jackets have done that to them a couple of times. Now they get him back.
Yeah, and that's just a great call by Coach Guzman and his staff, to let those kids know, what, we're disciplined and we're able to play this game of football in a disciplined way also.
1st down. Bulldogs at their own 36-yard line. They'll fake it on the jet sweep and give it up the middle to Gage Thomas. And Thomas will get 5 yards to the 41-yard line. And the clock moving toward halftime. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report at the break. Right now, 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Very, very fast first half.
Well, you can thank the Yellow Jackets for that. They've gone on 2 very long drives where they've kept the ball in the middle of the field, and they have not thrown the ball once yet today. So they are not doing much to stop the clock. And look at this. Great job by the Yellow Jacket defense to read and shut down the Bulldog attempt at a screen pass to Gage Thomas. I didn't see who that was. I don't know which linebacker. It might have been Herschel Gregg. It might have been Sam Montoya, but they read it beautifully over here on the left side of the defense, BJ. They obviously did their study and film, and they shut that screen pass down before it could get started.
Yeah, and I just think it was a great job by the linebacking core, who didn't bail out or just run and try to run to a different zone. They were able to see the screen and get there.
2 yards on the quarterback run up the middle, and 3rd down and 4. Pass off the far side is incomplete, broken up out there, and the Yellow Jackets do a good job. It's Franco Harris coming up to make the play on defense for the Jackets and force a 4th and 4 now for the Bulldogs.
But I would just tell you right now, though we have not spoke of it, Floyd, I think the offensive line of Winslow is really doing a great job of getting the quarterback time enough to find receivers, to check down, and I just think they need to be applauded about how wonderful they're doing up front to keep the pressure off their quarterback.
Yeah, he has been clean all night long, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
The Yellow Jackets don't send anybody back to receive the punt, and it is an angular punt off toward the Winslow sideline. It'll go out of bounds and give the Yellow Jackets great field position, their own 45-yard line with no return. Well, the Yellow Jackets could not stop Winslow on their opening possession, but they're going to get the ball back after having a drive that stalled deep in Winslow territory a few moments ago. So with 3 minutes and 28 seconds remaining, the Jackets have a 55-yard field in front of them with an opportunity to perhaps take a halftime lead. And I do have to say this, BJ, when you're at your own 45-yard line, most offenses, 3 minutes and 28 seconds is an eternity to get work done, but I'm not so sure you'd say the same thing about this Jackets offense. They do want to throw for the first time today, and Hunter Martinez is going to loft it downfield, and his pass is intercepted. And the guy that took it away is Micah Johnson, defensively.
And that was just a great job by Micah Johnson, he stayed with the receiver. Sooner quarterback let it go, he broke on the ball and brought it in. Great defensive play by Micah Johnson.
That's a ball that needed to be lofted over the top of the defender, and it just simply was not. And the first turnover of the day happens on the first play from the series.
Yes, it was.
So the Bulldogs now, in speaking again about what I mentioned a moment ago, the Bulldogs have a lot of time for their offense that has shown that they can throw the ball. They'll work from their own 37-yard line, and a pass that comes out of the backfield to Gage Thomas, dragged it down from behind. Good job by Herschel Gregg hustling from behind the play to make that stop after a 4-yard pickup on the pass play to Thomas.
Yeah, so you know what, and I will get, the Winslow quarterback, Jace, he's a very intelligent kid and smart kid, but he's starting to read right now that the corners and the safeties of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets is doing a wonderful job, all right, by not allowing receivers to get behind them. So he's definitely going to his check downs for positive plays. And as a quarterback, that's what you want to do. You want to just keep the chains moving. You want to do things positive.
Here's the reverse, and there's a marker down as the ball goes across midfield. The chains are moving on the other side. They needed to, or maybe there wasn't a marker. I guess I saw something else come out from the official. And that is going to end up being a first down as the ball goes to the Yellow Jacket 47-yard line. And the ball carrier, Brian Larson, scored that touchdown for the Bulldogs earlier here in the half. And he takes it to the Yellow Jacket 47 for a first down.
I think Brian Larson does a good job of running the ball in space. You know, he's one of those young men who has the ability to run through his eyes. When I mean running through his eyes, he sees things and he knows how to move his feet in that direction.
Try to go up the middle, and Thomas is knocked down, denied. Great job defensively up front. And the guy that got there does not appear on my roster, unless that was Hansen.
86?
Well, okay, so Ashton Hansen is 88. You're right, 86 is the jersey number, and I don't know who that was. That was, by the way, a 2-yard loss on the play. Just a wonderful job on defense by the Yellow Jackets.
That was an absolutely great defensive play.
Toss, left side, and that is going to be brought down. Beautiful job. The linebacker on the far side. Is that Franco Harris that came up and made that play? I'm not sure who that was, but another loss on the play. How about 3 yards lost this time? You see Franco Harris shed the ball. It was Franco that made the play.
You know what, Floyd, everything you want to teach a linebacker, you know what, by chasing and running to the football, taking on blockers, Franco Harris did it on that play right there. Excellent job being smart, using his hands, and finding the ball carrier and getting to the ball carrier.
So the Bulldogs from the shotgun look now at, the snap is off the hands of Lyons over his head. He's going to have to dive on it, still loose. The Jackets will have it at the Winslow 24-yard line. Lyons could not come away with the clean pickup. And the turnover on the bad snap is going to leave the Jackets with a very short field and 56 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, and this is just one of the things you just cannot do at this junction of the game with only, less than a minute left, and to turn the ball over on your side of the field.
Ball on the 25-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Let's go, D!
Well, I got to tell you, BJ, it seems like everything the Yellow Jackets do, Winslow turns around and does the same thing. Okay? So the Blue Ridge team threw an interception on their third possession of the game. That was the last possession they had. Well, the Bulldogs turn it back over to Blue Ridge. And here's the toss. Seth Slaughter trying to find some room. And he got a nice little initial burst and took it across the 20-yard line. And then Coach Hathcock called timeout for Blue Ridge. They call timeout with 49 seconds remaining in half. Ball at the 18-yard line after that 8-yard pickup on the play. Wow. How do you like it, huh? I mean, this thing going back and forth.
It is going back and forth. It's a slugfest. It's one of those Thursday, Friday night slugfest that you like to see at the high school level. It's not a lot of formations. It's not a lot of trying to trick you. It's not trying to deceive you. We're just going to line up and try to move the line of scrimmage and play football.
Two different approaches offensively with their schemes, BJ, but a really good match, isn't it? I mean, athletically, athlete-wise, Winslow might have a little size advantage, but it's not much. And the Bulldogs the Yellow Jackets, probably happy about that because more often than not, they're facing a size deficit of serious magnitude. 2nd down and 2, they give it straight up the middle.
And I just tell you, it does a good job to see both ball clubs doing what they know how to do. Not trying to recreate the wheel. They lining up, doing what's familiar to them.
Well, that was a 1-yard gain on that last play to bring up 3rd down, and I don't know, maybe a football, maybe close enough to measure, but the officials initially did not indicate that they would. The Yellow Jackets hurrying to the line. Now they stop it. And not exactly sure why. They stop it. Clock stopped at 43 seconds, and now the officials, I think, are going to measure. And the Bulldog fans, they hate the whole thing because that is going to immeasurably help the Yellow Jackets offensively with the stoppage of play.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, and I just think that it's a great job by Coach Hathcock, who understands the game of football and probably requested that there be a measurement at this time.
So how about some trickeration right here from the Yellow Jackets? They do have one timeout remaining. Winslow's got 2 timeouts. We're tied at 7 apiece, everybody. And we've got 43 seconds remaining here in the first half. And just as suspected, it's shy of the first down by just that much. Length of a football, maybe.
Yeah, it's just one of those things is that as a defensive unit, you have to pay attention to your cues here, because it wouldn't be surprising me that if a quarterback boots on a play.
Third down and a foot to go. They'll give it to Cody Wallace, trying to string it out right side. The defense does string him out. That's what I should say. And they're able to knock him down. He was able to escape the first contact. But Cody loses better than a yard on that third down run. It'll bring up 4th down and a yard with the clock counting down now under 30 seconds remaining. And is it 3rd or is it 4th down? It is 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Yeah. So -1 on the play. The Yellow Jackets line up. They give it to Cody Wallace. He'll leap forward ahead and get the first down. That'll stop the clock to move the chains, and the Jackets will have the ball at the 11-yard line after that gain and a first down. And Blue Ridge, the chains weren't even set, and the Yellow Jackets clocked it.
Exactly.
I don't think you can do that, BJ.
You can't.
I don't think you can snap the ball if the chains aren't set.
Exactly. But you can't start the clock after first down until, well, in high school you can.
You can't spike it.
One of the Winslow fans calling out to the official saying, you can't clock it, you can't spike it. That's incorrect. You can.
Exactly.
You have to take the snap from under center to do it.
And he did.
Yeah, and he did. Yeah, that's the Yellow Jackets' basic set is to go under center on the double wing. So they spiked it. It should be 2nd down with the clock stopped. Right now, 16 seconds, 15.7 seconds remaining. And the official is talking. Is he talking to Coach Guzman?
No, it indicated he's talking to the clock area about putting more time.
15.7 seconds remaining in the first half. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime is coming up at the break, everybody. And for the Yellow Jackets, trying to see exactly where they've got the ball. It's right at the 10-yard line. Just a bit outside the 10-yard line. And they'll be looking at 2nd down. Well, they're going to reset. Right now there is 17 seconds on the clock. The referee still working with the scorekeeper, and that's what they're going to settle on, 17 seconds. The Yellow Jackets gain 1.3 seconds. And they have 1 timeout remaining, which they undoubtedly will spend if this one doesn't go into the end zone. 2nd down play, the little reverse inside. Seth Slaughter has it up the middle. He goes, and he's got a push into the end zone. And the Yellow Jackets have scored the go-ahead touchdown with 10.7 seconds remaining in the half.
I just think it's a great job by Slaughter, who's getting behind those big bodies and just pushing the ball. And if you see on the replay, man, it just seems like the Blue Ridge offensive line is truly fitting up on every defensive player there on the Winslow Bulldogs. It's just a great job by them firing off the ball and getting out.
The Yellow Jackets will attempt the point after the go-ahead touchdown by Seth Slaughter, and we're going to get a marker down. And the Yellow Jackets, I think we can get an illegal substitution.
Great call, Floyd. You're right.
Well, every once in a while, it's not very often, I'll tell you. But, yeah, that's the indication. Illegal substitution by the Yellow Jackets. And the ball goes back 5 yards for the point after try. So instead of a 20-yard kick, it's the equivalent of now a 25-yard kick.
And I think there should be no problem. It seems like these kids have a very strong leg. So
he really does. He's a soccer player, and boots it straight through. That point after good, and the Yellow Jackets
10 seconds left in this.
put more points on the board. Everybody, a word in from our friends at Ace Hardware of the White Mountains. The seconds remaining in the first half, and the Yellow Jackets go ahead of Winslow 14-7. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Sholo, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer.
So Blue Ridge goes ahead after a 4-play, 26-yard drive, very short field for the Yellow Jacket offense after they were able to cover up a fumble on a bad Winslow snap to their quarterback in the shotgun. The ball just had too much power on it, BJ. It was like came out of there pretty hot.
It did. And I think Jace did everything he can do to try to knock it down and grab it.
Unfortunately, could not. Micah Johnson will field the kick and take it up the middle for the Bulldogs, and he does not want to go down. Maybe he should have gone down a little earlier once he made contact because he burned up another 2 or 3 seconds off the clock. There'll be 1.8 seconds for the Winslow offense here as we close out the first half, and the Bulldogs are at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah. And I just think the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets did a great job of managing the time, in that short period of time, especially in the running game. I mean, you can see this is the first time, I believe, Floyd, that I have ever saw a hurry-up offense in the running game.
An offense that runs a 2-minute offense,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And they executed to perfection, to a touchdown.
Really did a great job managing the clock, that's for sure. And the Bulldogs are actually going to
timeout, Blue Ridge.
Well, they're going to have to talk it over because Blue Ridge decided to spend a timeout. So they spent their final timeout of the half. What do you think, Coach Hathcock? What do you think that Coach Girardi and the rest of that staff for the Yellow Jackets are saying to their guys right now? Nobody can get behind you, right?
Nobody, especially number 5.
Especially number 5. Whoever is assigned to number 5, not that the Yellow Jackets here in this situation will be playing man defense, just don't let anybody behind you.
And I just think to this point, the young man who spent many a days eating at your table has done an excellent job, all right, of not allowing him to take the top off the defense.
Well, yeah, and it could just simply be a matter of pure fear. He might be playing so far off the ball all night long that there's just no chance anybody going to get by him.
I think it's pure competitiveness.
Christian Kirk might not be able to get by him. They're going to swing it out the left side, and that is Johnson with the ball. And Mike is going to get wrapped up and knocked. The ball's up in the air. He might have tossed that up in the air. It was Franco Harrison who was trying to make that initial stop. He might have been just trying to throw it up there and give his guys a chance to do something. Either way, it ends up going down after about a 15-yard gain to Johnson. And you heard the siren sound. I believe you heard that, everybody, signaling the end of the first half here at Winslow High School. Wow, what an interesting half. A battle extraordinaire between two really different approaches offensively. And the Yellow Jackets, well, they've got that lead as we'll take it into halftime and get you ready for the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report, everybody. That is on the way here from Emil Nasser Stadium at Winslow High School. We'll get to it here in a few moments. Halftime as Blue Ridge leads Winslow 14-7 on the Sports Zone Radio. Game of the week. Stand by for the breakdown.
Toyota in Show Low has joined forces with several lenders for a special savings event. It's the $39.95 Vehicle Acquisition Sale. Choose from hundreds of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. All you pay is the $39.95 acquisition, and then start making the payments. These vehicles have been acquired at incredible savings from local trades, banks, credit unions, lease companies, as well as other dealer inventory. Hundreds of vehicles are on display at the massive Hatch Toyota lot. Over $5 million worth of new and pre-owned inventory will be disposed of. Choose from Toyotas, Ford, Chevys, Hondas, Nissan, Dodges, to name just a few. All you pay is the $39.95 acquisition fee. Then take over the payments. Pick your vehicle, pick your payments, and then pay the $39.95 acquisition fee. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall and at HatchToyota.com.
Hi, this is Chaz Hatch. I won't lose a deal over $1, and you have my word on it.
Approved credit cannot be combined with any other offers or discounts. Plus tax and license and dealer documentation fees.
Take it to the max with Free for Life from Cellular One. Activate a new line of service with Free for Life, and you'll get the Sky D5 Max smartphone for free. Plus, you get 5 gigabytes of LTE, unlimited nationwide talk and text, and unlimited Facebook for free. See how to qualify and get your free for Life Sky D5 Max smartphone while supplies last at any Cellular One store or at mycellular1.com. Free for Life is a government-subsidized Lifeline product available to eligible customers. Only one Lifeline phone per household. Not transferable. Other restrictions apply.
Any insurance agent can provide a quote, return a phone call, or claim to have the best rates. But will your current agent fight alongside you if and when you need to make a claim, discuss options when life changes, or put you and your needs first? At the Troy Merrill Farmers Insurance Agency, that's exactly who you'll get. People over profit. Years of expertise and knowledge, personalized service, and a straightforward, comprehensive, and cost-effective insurance solution. Call or visit the Merrill Farmers Insurance Agency now and experience exactly what you've been missing.
The team at Beam & Will Drilling is like a great football team. They work hard, they work as a team, and they play to win. Their reputation is second to none, and they proudly call the White Mountains their home, even though they complete projects throughout the entire southwestern United States and beyond. No project is too big or too small for Beam & Well Drilling, so when the time comes for you to punch a hole in the ground, remember the White Mountains' top well drilling team, Beam & Well Drilling. Call anytime, 928-205-7647. Go deep with Beam & Well Drilling.
The year was 2011. Tim Tebow was still playing quarterback in high school, but he was about to become a legend with his team behind 17-0. He was tackled and broke his leg. Despite the excruciating pain, he told his coach, "Don't take me out of the game, I want to play." Tim led his team back and scored the game-winning touchdown on a 20-yard run. The start of the Tim Tebow legend. This is Sports Zone Radio's Byron Brown with a message from Beeler Orthodontics in Show Low. A message to every young White Mountains athlete to never give up. Beeler Orthodontics. Live life with a smile.
What do tickets to the Willis Farm in Snowflake, tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and tickets to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert all have in common? Well, this month, when you use the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass to replace your insured windshield, you have a shot at getting them all. This month, everyone who gets an insured windshield replaced gets 2 tickets to the Willis Farm Haunt Night of Pestilence. And then your name goes in the hat to be drawn for an escape to Las Vegas, where you will have lower level premium tickets to the December 11th championship night of the National Finals Rodeo. And fantastic tickets that same weekend to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert on their last tour. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today, 536-5972.
Welcome to the Mountain Mobile Halftime. A complete first half breakdown of tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast.
Remember the last time that I think I had a conversation with him, and He was a genuinely humble and nice guy and fun guy to talk to about the old days of football in Northeast Arizona.
And loved it. Loved talking about it. Loved sharing it. Just loved talking to people, period, about the game of football.
And he loved the maroon and gold.
Yes, he did.
Of Winslow, did he?
Do you understand the heritage that lies on the back of these young coaches out here?
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, with the legendary and the late Paul Morrow.
Yeah.
And the legendary Emo Nasser. And it's one thing to understand both from Coach Hathcock and Coach Guzman is that they continue to preach the foundations of their football programs and give credit to the individuals who established this winning tradition and, most importantly, developing character of young men through their programs.
Winslow's got some great tradition, right? We're talking about Coach Nasser right there, and you know, all that he meant to the program and what he developed and what he built into the community and into Winslow High School through his work as the head coach. But how about Vargas Field over there, and Jay Vargas, the United States Marine Corps officer who fought for our country in the Vietnam War, hailing originally here from Winslow High School. And Jay Vargas won a Medal of Honor. That's specifically why he has that field named for him. So it is pretty awesome, okay? Winslow's got some pretty good heritage for sure.
And you know, and it's always good avenue to begin with young men when you're talking about, you know, the heritage, the discipline, and the things that you have responsible to carry on, and why coaches like Coach Guzman, my understanding, who took young men while they're at the NAU Dome to go and see plaques of Jay Vargas, Emo Nasser, to let them know is that, you know, those guys are still being remembered, and that now we're putting on your backs as young men of the community of Winslow, you know, the discipline, the character that those men had when they spend their time here.
Pretty cool stuff, I'll tell you. Stuff that we need to share with all the young men and the young women in our families for sure. A halftime score here as we get you going on the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report. It is 14-7, Blue Ridge in front. The Yellow Jackets got the ball first here tonight. They took the opening kickoff and commenced to go on a 70-yard, 12-play drive to start the game. Took 4 minutes and 47 seconds, and it was running back Seth Slaughter going in from 2 yards out to open the scoring for the Yellow Jackets. The point after try was good, and Blue Ridge at the 7:13 mark of the first quarter had a 7-0 lead. Winslow came right back and marched the ball downfield themselves. They went on a 57-yard, 11-play drive. That one took even longer than the Yellow Jackets. They burned off 6 minutes and 16 seconds in getting the ball into the end zone. Brian Larson, after, I don't know, maybe 5 other Bulldog players touched the ball, handled the ball on that opening drive for the Bulldogs, Brian, on his very first touch of the football, took it in from 8 yards out to score the Bulldogs' first points of the game, and so far their only points of the game. 8-yard touchdown run. The kick was good, and the score was tied with 57 seconds remaining in the first quarter, tied at 7 apiece. Well, the Yellow Jackets were held on downs after advancing the ball deep into Winslow territory on the Yellow Jackets' next possession. They actually went 10 plays on a drive that went from their own 33-yard line and died at the Winslow 7. The Bulldog defense stiffening up and turning the Yellow Jackets away on that. And then the Bulldogs, after gaining a couple of first downs, would punt the ball back to Blue Ridge, give them an opportunity. The Yellow Jackets threw an interception on the first play of the ensuing drive with 3 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the first half. Winslow had the ball at their own 37-yard line after that play, but 5 plays into that series, they fumbled the ball on a snap over the quarterback's head. Blue Ridge covered it up at the Winslow 26-yard line, and 4 plays later, Seth Slaughter took it into the end zone from 11 yards out for the Yellow Jackets to put Blue Ridge back in front, and the point after try made it 14-7. 14-7, that's our halftime score here. at Winslow High School, everybody. Well, BJ, we got a great battle going on out there. Two different distinct approaches to moving the football for sure. And you got to give a lot of credit. First of all, you mentioned the offensive line for Blue Ridge doing a great job. Well, the offensive line on the other side has kept the quarterback clean all night long. He's had opportunities. They haven't really had, extraordinary success throwing the ball, but they've had opportunities with a clean pocket for the quarterback for Jace Lyons to throw for Winslow. And we'll see if that ends up being something that becomes more of a factor in the second half of play, which is on the way. But BJ, two different approaches. And, success for both sides.
Yeah, I 100% agree that both offensive coordinators are going into the locker room feeling good about what their young men are doing up front. The Winslow offensive line is giving Coach Sawyer opportunity and Coach Guzman to move the ball both offensive and defensive-wise, a mixture of both. And the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets is doing a great job of giving Coach Hathcock an opportunity to run some scheme runs, which propelled them to have the lead right now, 14-7 at halftime.
Hey, Winslow has shown that they've got some weapons with their offense, and we mentioned a name that has yet to really have a breakout moment yet in the game, and that's Micah Johnson. In fact, Micah had a great game. I don't have all the details, but I know he had a great game against Flagstaff in the Bulldogs' victory last week over the Eagles at the Sky Dome in Flagstaff. And, one of the comments made before the game, Artie Griffith, who does work here for the football team, I don't know if he's the official scorer upstairs or if he's handling the PA announcing duties, but you and I both know Coach Griffith well, and one comment he made about Micah Johnson is that he feels like if NAU would take a look at him, they'd be very impressed by him.
Exactly. And I think the foundation of Coach Griffin indicating that is that him understanding that Micah Johnson is a young football player. He may be a senior, but when it comes to the football knowledge, he's very young as football because he hasn't played. He has played, but then sort of stepped away from the game a few years, then came back and played. But there's no doubt about it. You can see the athleticism in this young man and his speed, his explosiveness, and something that he can definitely be successful at the next level somewhere.
The key tonight, though, is that the Yellow Jackets defensively have, whether they did it by intent or not, they have corralled him pretty good. He hasn't just had many opportunities. Caught a 15-yard pass on the final play of the first half. Outside of that, he's just not factored into the offense at all. Had a couple of decent returns on Yellow Jacket kickoffs, and that's about it. Blue Ridge doing a pretty good job keeping those weapons, the weaponry of Winslow, in check.
And that's a great job by Coach Girardi, who's the defensive coordinator for the Yellow Jackets, who probably have done his due diligence all week long, all right, advising their defensive backs that we're not going to allow this guy to get behind us. Because if he does, Jace Lyons has the ability to throw the ball down the field, either in the pocket or on the run, which could present problems if you continue to let an athlete like Micah Johnson get behind you.
Winslow and Blue Ridge returning to the field here during halftime. The Mountain Mobile Auto Glass halftime report here on radio and as well on our live video coverage on our Sports on Radio YouTube channel and on the Sports on Radio Facebook channel as well. And we'll grab a quick word in from Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and when we come back, I want to ask you, Coach, just for a quick second about adjustments and what kind of adjustments might have been made in the locker rooms of these two teams. Blue Ridge on top 14-7 at halftime. Back after this word from Mountain Mobile Auto Glass.
What do tickets to the Willis Farm in Snowflake, tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and tickets to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert all have in common? Well, this month, when you use the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass to replace your insured windshield, you have a shot at getting them all. This month, everyone who gets an insured windshield replaced gets 2 tickets to the Willis Farm Haunt.
Night of Pestilence.
And then your name goes in the hat to be drawn for an escape to Las Vegas, where you will have lower level premium tickets to the December 11th championship night of the National Finals Rodeo. And fantastic tickets that same weekend to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert on their last tour. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today, 536-5972.
It couldn't be easier scheduling your next appointment at Summit Healthcare's Orthopedic Clinic. And Summit's new roster of orthopedic surgeons includes Dr. Jeffrey Cornelson. Dr. Cornelson brings experience and expertise specializing in joint replacement, arthroscopy, rotator cuff repair, ACL reconstruction, and much more. Schedule your next appointment now. Same day and next day appointments are available. Contact Summit Healthcare at 928-537-6700. That's 928-537-6700.
Insurance is a must, but that doesn't mean you must go broke just paying for it. Contact Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance for a game plan on saving more of your money. Joe and his team offer home, life, auto insurance, and more. With Joe as your insurance quarterback, you'll score big each and every time. And with State Farm cheering you on, how can you lose? Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance, providing blanket coverage of the entire White Mountains. Call Joe at 928-536-7101. That's 928-536-7101.
Halftime on the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass. Halftime report, everybody. Our score, Blue Ridge 14, Winslow 7. The teams are back out, and we're about ready to go on the second half. But before we do that, I want to turn my attention over to Coach B.J. Little. Coach, put your coaching hat back on here, and tell me what you think the key adjustment is that both of these teams need to make and perhaps talked about in the locker room at halftime for the second half.
Reduce turnovers. I think both offensive-wise, I think both ball clubs were able to manage their offense, but it just seems like a key turnover had happened at an unfortunate moment of the ballgame. I think defensive-wise, I think the linebackers got to do a better job of running downhill for the Winslow Bulldogs and finding the football. All right? And I just think the defensive backs in the linebacker core for the Blue Ridge is going to look to try to take away those little check down routes where it's been quite successful, early in the game by the Winslow Bulldogs. But I just think that Jace Lyons has done an excellent job, by resorting to those check down routes when he realized that safeties and corners are not allowing, the Bulldogs to run down the field.
That's Coach B.J. Little. My name is Floyd Simmons, your play-by-play team on tonight's broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota, and you'll see that graphic up on your screen there now. You were going to see it for a moment. We've got another big broadcast tonight, Thursday night. We're here at Winslow, and take a look again at that graphic for tomorrow's broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Tomorrow, Sholo High School, it's homecoming for the Cougars. 5 o'clock for the Friday night football show presented by Hatch Toyota, and a 7 o'clock kickoff for the Game of the Week broadcast. Tomorrow night, we're at Sholo High School. Join us here on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook channel for Sports Zone Radio, and, of course, on local radio, 98.5 KRFM. A big hit by the Yellow Jackets on the return by Micah Johnson. The guy who meets him in the middle of that wedge and busted up is Christian Roman, who missed a couple of games with injury, but back in the lineup for the Yellow Jackets, a guy that they desperately need back in that lineup for sure, and he helps make a stop on Johnson at the Winslow 37-yard line. The second half is underway now on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Hatch Toyota. I want to thank Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, our halftime presenting sponsors, and we are, folks, now back to the action. The Bulldogs with the ball to start the second half, and they will give it to Larson. That is Brian Larson. He gets strung out. Good job by the Yellow Jacket defense as they came up and forced the issue. And among those guys out there, Franco Harris, Cody Wallace out there on that edge, and it's a no gain on first down to start the second half for the Bulldogs.
And that's a great job. Even number 66. We had called his number, all night long.
Herschel Gregg.
He has been doing a absolutely wonderful job from his linebacker position from running sideline to sideline.
And he'll line up in the middle of the Yellow Jacket defense here for a second down offensive look from the Winslow Bulldogs. Tight formation. They will flip it, and it's on the ground. And a hit in the backfield. Can Franco Harris hold on? No. The battle is on, and was that Micah Johnson carrying the ball?
Yes,
he was able to escape that first contact and avoid losing another 4 yards, but he is knocked down back at the 31-yard line. Big play defensively, a 6-yard loss, as the Jackets were able to corral him before he could get into space.
And I think that's one of the things that we had talked about earlier, Floyd, is by being, functional on the offense side of the ball, though it was not a turnover, but with him not corralling the ball, bringing it in, and is hitting the turf, it gives the opportunity for the Blue Ridge defense to run towards the football and surrounding and make a tackle for a loss.
3rd down and 16. Lions. Jace steps up, and he's going to go down. Sacked on the play as he looked to throw, and for the first time today, we see the quarterback get a little of that artificial dirt on his jersey. Great play in the middle by the Yellow Jackets defensively. That is Andy Hoffmeyer who gets the quarterback sack, and another yard lost on the play by Winslow. It'll be 4th down and 17 to go.
And that's just a great defensive stop for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets to come out in the second half knowing they got to be on the defense side of the ball, and that Winslow is looking to score immediately.
Nobody back for the Winslow punt. It's an end-over-end liner that rolls into Yellow Jacket territory down at the 33-yard line, and a 3-and-out for the Winslow offense to start the second half. The Yellow Jackets have to be pretty happy with their defensive effort to come out of the locker room and get that going. And the Yellow Jacket offense led by Hunter Martinez, the quarterback, will bring it out here. As I mentioned, they are at their own 33-yard line to begin their first possession of the second half. Hey, I want to mention and say a big thank you to our friend Chuck Copeland, the referee, Chuck Copeland. He sent a text message earlier on a rules explanation, and I want to go over that here after we look at this first down play. Toss to Cody Wallace, the Yellow Jackets, taking it up the middle as he follows his big boys and gets yardage out to the 39-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard pickup on the play for Cody, and a 2nd down and 5 on the way for the Yellow Jackets. Here's what Chuck Copeland says, BJ. He says that there's a rule change. You can ground the ball out of the shotgun as long as it's done immediately. So you can catch it grounded out of the shotgun.
If anybody should know, it should be a referee, Mr. Copeland.
He should know.
Yep.
And so thank you, Chuck, for that explanation. And you know what, Chuck? You could stay on the line and keep texting me all night long, because I'm quite sure, I don't know
but you know what,
almost any of the rules, especially newer ones.
It sort of reminds you of a Sunday football when you can talk to a NFL expert.
I like it, yeah.
You're broadcasting, then they can just give you advice of the correct rule.
We should just give him his own hotline and he can call us. Yeah. 7-yard gain on that last play. Now a pitch to Cody Wallace on a Yellow Jacket first down. He is strung out on the far side of the field, able to advance toward midfield, and it looks like they're going to mark him out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Nope, they say he stayed inbounds, actually, and the clock will continue rolling down. 8 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock in the third period. The Yellow Jackets' first possession of the second half, and Wallace had taken it right across midfield. 4-yard gain to the Winslow 49-yard line.
And this is the big defensive series for the Winslow Bulldogs right now. They're really going to dig in and try to keep the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets from. And as I say that's just an absolutely great play.
Yeah, broken play, actually, and maybe forced by the Winslow defenses. They got a good push right in the middle toward Cody Wallace, who could not hand it off on the inside reverse. That little trap play, and so Wallace is brought down rudely by the Winslow defense for a loss of a yard on the play. Well, you can see it, BJ, like Prescott did last week, coming out for the second half against Blue Ridge. Winslow is now starting to sell out on stopping the run. They are starting to really pack in the box on defense. And the Yellow Jackets want to throw, set up a screen, and the pass is over the head of the receiver as Hunter Martinez was looking for Cody Wallace and was absolutely feeling that pressure.
And that's just a great defensive play. And I think the linebacker that was over there to show present was a Gage Thomas, who made sure that would not be incompleted on the screen, a completed pass, on a screen play.
Well, it's 4th down, and the Yellow Jackets come up to the line. to try and draw Winslow off, and they end up moving up front. It's an illegal procedure. That'll move it back 5. 4th down and 11. And for the first time today, we'll see the Yellow Jacket punt team come on, and they're going to give the ball up.
And I just think this is a dangerous punt. You know, it's like this is probably one of the better punt return individuals in the state right now. And
well, the punt, the rugby-style approach to kicking the ball away is going to be nearly blocked. And then Micah Johnson shedding a tackle around the right side. He'll be brought down after he crosses midfield. Franco Harris saves a touchdown for the Yellow Jackets coverage team. That is a beautiful return in the vicinity of a 30-yard bringback by Micah Johnson, who was initially corralled, but his speed got him away from 3 defenders near the point of attack, and then you see him break that tackle before Franco Harris saves the day for the Yellow Jackets.
And trust me, he saved the day, because I just think if Franco Harris does not make that tackle, you know, it's a lot of green grass for green turf for Mr. Johnson.
Well, Winslow begins at the Yellow Jacket 48-yard line. A lot of time to throw, and the pass is caught by Johnson in the middle of the Yellow Jacket defense. And I think we're going to see a face mask as flags come in on the tackle from all different directions. And Johnson goes down after what is initially a 6-yard gain. We'll see what they tack onto it. We'll look at the replay. Can't really see anything on it. Yeah, definitely a face mask. So the 6-yard plus 15. And boy, oh boy, the Yellow Jackets are looking at serious danger to a 7-point lead that they own right now. 14-7, Blue Ridge in front. 7:05 on the clock, 3rd period.
Ball placed on the Yellow Jackets 27-yard line.
I think this is a very key job. You know, we're approaching the red zone right now for the Winslow Bulldogs. This is a great opportunity right now to cap it off.
Gage Thomas will get it on the fake toss, and then inside give. Thomas picked his way for a small gain. 3 yards to pick up on the play for Thomas. 2nd down and 7. Straight ahead as you take another look at that replay, and a great look from field level. Derek Simmons on that camera. He is our producer, and one of those guys that does rare double duty. I mean, you never see a producer, the guy that's responsible for your whole broadcast, carrying a camera around the field. Only Derek can do that job.
And you know what? You know, Derek is such a hard worker. You know, he's a young man that was at the stadium about 3:30 today, setting up, getting ready for.
Mr. Everything. Mr. Everything. Hey, here's a pass from Lyons, caught in the middle of the Yellow Jacket defense. Did a great job to thread it into Aiden Falaha, if that's the correct pronunciation. Yep. And I believe that's a 14-yard pickup to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal at that spot.
And I would say this time and time and over is like when Jace has times to throw the ball, you know, he's really been accurate on those underneath routes.
So the ball just a shade inside the 10-yard line. And from this spot, it's 1st and goal. They're going to fake it and give again on the inside. That didn't work the last time, and it works even worse this time. Great job. Is that Peja Hinton? I think it was. With penetration defensively for the Yellow Jackets, and a big loss on the play, as a matter of fact. We'll look at it here. He tried to run that just a moment ago, and it just going nowhere. Actually, Sam Montoya is the guy that makes the play.
And I think that's some defense adjustments that the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets had made at halftime, because I believe that's a similar like play that gave up a touchdown earlier by Larson.
Hey, -5 on that play. The ball back out to the 15-yard line. And a pump fake, throw toward the corner, wide open, and the pass is behind the receiver and a little bit low, and that is a big break for the Yellow Jackets, as there was a breakdown in coverage on the far side of the field. I'm not sure who that was, but I think it was Simmons. Simmons bit hard on the fake, and terrible job defensively. I can say that. That kid out there did a horrible job defensively. And the Yellow Jackets get a great break as Chris Ariana couldn't reach back and make the catch.
But before we try to crucify him, but it's one of those things, you know, Floyd, is like, who has the third responsibility? You know, it could be safety's call.
Maybe. I got to believe it's the corner on that. But, of course, I don't know what the defensive call was. Here's a sliding catch made inside the 5-yard line by the Bulldogs. They were working on a 3rd and goal at the 15-yard line, and that ball goes all the way to the 2-yard line. It'll be 4th down. And we'll see what the Bulldogs elect to do here on 4th.
I think they'll go for it. You know, early in the 3rd quarter, they're moving the ball. They're feeling good. Linemen are blocking very well up front. I think the Bulldogs will go for it. 4th
down. The ball at the 3-yard line, and what do you say, hard count right here?
Count.
Try to draw the defense. And a timeout taken. The Bulldogs need a timeout. A crucial moment here with 4:25 on the clock in the 3rd period. And with the Yellow Jackets chewing up clock with every offensive possession, Winslow sensing the enormity of the moment here, and down 7, they spend their first time out of the second half. Floyd Simmons along with BJ Little on the play-by-play call of tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast, presented by Hatch Toyota. And tomorrow night, we've got a big matchup for you at Sholo High School. How about this one, huh? Homecoming for the Sholo Cougars, ranked number 4 in the state and undefeated, taking on the undefeated and number 2 ranked Round Valley Elks. And whoever put that graphic up got him backwards. Round Valley's number 2, Sholo is number 4. That's the game of the year so far in 3A football.
And I think that will be a absolutely old school 3A East slug out.
Yeah. You think it's going to get physical with the Round Valley and Sholo tomorrow night?
It will be physical.
It's going to be a violent game, isn't it?
It will be very violent.
Oh, boy.
But played very well.
Yes.
You know,
two teams, two coaches. Brad Baca, the new head coach at Round Valley, has his guys playing just the way Round Valley's been playing all these years. And the new head coach, Carlo Hernandez, getting great response out of his team, and they're undefeated right now, 6-0. The Sholo Cougars, big game for you tomorrow night as we get another timeout called. The Blue Ridge taking a time. How big is the moment right now when now both coaches have spent a timeout to talk it over in the chess match on the field?
And this is a big possession for both teams. You know, it's 14-7 ball game. Winslow's trying to move and tie the ball game up.
Big moment.
Exactly.
No doubt. 14-7. Blue Ridge in front of Winslow. Winslow knocking on the door and a 30-second timeout. Word in from Troy Merrill, Farmers Insurance. Stand by.
Any insurance agent can provide a quote, return a phone call, or claim to have the best rates. But will your current agent fight alongside you if and when you need to make a claim, discuss options when life changes, or put you and your needs first? At the Troy Merrill Farmers Insurance Agency, that's exactly who you'll get. People over profit. Years of expertise and knowledge, personalized service, and a straightforward, comprehensive, and cost-effective insurance solution. Call or visit the Merrill Farmers Insurance Agency now and experience exactly what you've been missing.
Well, who's going to win this battle inside the bigger battle right now? It's 4th and goal for the Winslow Bulldogs at the Yellow Jacket 3-yard line. Blue Ridge in front 14-7 and 4:25 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Snap, Jace Lyons looking left, throwing left, and it is broken up defensively by the Yellow Jackets. Somebody laid out. Dofort was that.
Number 10.
David Simmons is getting the camera time. And let's take a look here at this view from the field level. Lyons looking left all the way. And Simmons going over, and it looks like he did get a hand on it to break it up as he lays out and makes the play and makes his dad very proud after castigating him just 3 or 4 plays ago.
And you should be, because that was an excellent head defensive play where he not only took away a flat zone, then he comes off the flat zone into another area and he gets his hands in there to break it up.
So the Yellow Jackets will take over the ball here in the 3rd period at their own 3-yard line after the stop, and a big gain that takes it up for first down yardage. That is Seth Slaughter, who has already scored 2 touchdowns on the night for the Yellow Jackets offensively. What a big moment where Blue Ridge yielded a ton. Winslow had taken the ball over at the Yellow Jacket 48-yard line for that last possession of theirs, and then the Blue Ridge defense just would not give up the rest of the way. And by the way, that was a 10-yard gain. Seth Slaughter moving the ball out for Blue Ridge. Long snap count, taking time off the play clock now. And Hunter Martinez will give it the little inside Trap inside reverse, and another big gain, broken tackle, and staying alive out across to the 31-yard line is Slaughter. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, as you look at the replay, man, I will say time and time is that Winslow, Blue Ridge up front is fitting up on the Winslow up front interior lineman, and in which they're creating havoc in that little bunch set.
Hey, that is as tough an 18-yard gain as you're going to find in a high school football game, and Slaughter doing some man-sized work here early on in the second half for the Yellow Jackets. This time it's Cody Wallace. He'll break a tackle and keep on going, and pretty nice pickup to the 38-yard line for Wallace on this play. 6 yards to pick up.
You know, Floyd, you're at one of those junctions of the game right now where it's some of the things that needs to be corrected, because now you're having a lot of safeties, corners coming up and trying to make tackles for the Winslow Bulldogs, and your linebackers are going to get involved, in stopping this running game.
2nd down and 4, and the Yellow Jackets punishing that Winslow defense here on this series, this sequence, which began at the 3-yard line after the essentially goal line stand by the Jacket defense. Hand off to Cody Wallace. He'll cut it back and take it across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And how about 9 yards later, a first down for the Yellow Jackets? They continue to move the ball up the field. Boy, 4 plays in, BJ, they've gone from the 3 to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that there's, look at the hole. Look at the hole that the up front lineman for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets is starting to give the running backs for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Just imagine if the Yellow Jackets had a more effective passing game. Exactly. What they could do. Ball at the 46-yard line, and they will give it up the middle. I believe that is the fullback carrying it straight up the middle. Is that Christian Roman? I believe it was. Roman took it up the middle. Didn't get much out of it. The Bulldog defense this time able to bow up and stiffen up and stop him for about a yard gain on the play. And I think that was, who's that, Mendoza and Gonzalez who was in the play right there. And speaking of those interior linemen, defensive linemen for the Winslow Bulldogs, they're young, but they're going to be some good football players. I think Gonzalez right now is one of the young football players, and I think he's eventually going to be a very talented lineman when it's all said and done for the Winslow Bulldogs. 2nd down and 9. Seth Slaughter gets some good momentum going straight ahead for the Yellow Jackets. 11 yards to pick up this time. Move the chains one more time, and the Jackets are starting to wear down that Bulldog defense. And I think this is something that me and you both indicated earlier about this type of offense and how it just wears on your opponent, especially when you start getting positive, gains after each and every run. The Yellow Jackets of old, right, under Paul Morrow, this is about the time that they would start to exert their will on good defenses. Other teams that were good. Offside, by the way, on the Winslow defense. That'll be a 5-yard mark-off and take the ball to about the 37-yard line of Winslow. But if the Yellow Jackets in the old days found themselves in a really tight, close game, they would eventually, somewhere in the third quarter, they would start to get that edge where their offensive line was moving your defense off the ball, and from that point on, you would start to see against good teams, the Yellow Jackets could get that advantage. And you know what? It's like you cannot hang 10 titles using an effective running game with mediocre linemen. No doubt about that. That is, that's profound for sure, Coach. Let's see, 3, maybe 4-yard gain for the Yellow Jackets. On the final play of the third period, Blue Ridge wanting to take full advantage of the clock. Milk as much as they can. They're going to go ahead and let the clock run out here as we close out this third quarter, everybody. The final 3 seconds ticking off right now as we grab a word in from our presenting sponsors of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. That, of course, is Hatch Toyota, everybody. Grab a timeout. And back to Winslow for the fourth quarter coming up. The Yellow Jackets in front of Winslow, 14-7, and on the march right now. Stand by, everybody.
Remember your toy cars as a kid?
You'd make those things rocket across the living room floor, jump the coffee table, and drift under the sofa.
Now, you can't do all those things for real in a new Hatch Toyota Corolla, but it's so much fun to drive, you might think you could.
Corolla is filled with tech, wrapped in safety, and has tons of options to make your Corolla your Corolla.
During Toyota's national sales event, get up to $1,000 cash back on a new Corolla.
Or financing as low as 1.9% APR for 60 months.
Or lease for $199 per month.
And receive a complimentary maintenance plan for 2 years or 25,000 miles on your new Corolla.
Plus, push it in, pull it in, drag it in, tow it in.
Hatch Toyota will take anything in on trade. As long as it runs on gas, we will take it in on trade.
Hi, this is Chaz Hatch. Get our statewide low price guarantee on every new Toyota. Find out more at hatchtoyota.com or visit us today at the Northern Arizona Auto Mall in Sholo.
Offers on approved credit plus tax, title license, and $499 doc fee, lease for 36 months with $19.99 due at signing.
Well, as we get the fourth quarter underway, the Yellow Jackets are on the march with football. They have expired now 4.5 minutes of clock. Closing out the third period, starting now the fourth quarter. They rest at the Winslow 33-yard line. Handoff to Seth Slaughter. And Seth will take it over the right side for a first down. Seth gains 5 yards on the play, and the Yellow Jackets continue to exert their will on this drive down. BJ, I'm not going to say that the game is over if the Yellow Jackets can take this all the way in for the score, but what do you think it does psychologically for Blue Ridge, and then conversely for Winslow, if the Yellow Jackets from their own 3-yard line march this one all the way in?
It's deflating to a defense. It's really deflating to a defense who had moments in the first half you were able to bow back. Though you gave up yardage, you were able to bow up and make a stop. But at this junction of the game, early in the fourth quarter, where you allow your opponent to move the ball all the way down the field and score, it's a little bit deflating.
From the 29-yard line, the handoff goes to Seth Slaughter, and Seth will run into some traffic, a bit of a traffic jam. 5-yard gain. Ball goes just inside the Winslow 25-yard line again. 5 yards, if you do that all night long and you protect the majority of your possessions and cash those in for points, you're going to do two things, BJ. You're going to take a lot of time off the clock, and you're going to score points, and you're going to be in this thing at the end of the game.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what Blue Ridge wants. You know, they make no bones about it. They've got to run the football, right? They can't throw the ball that effectively. They've got to keep the score low, stay in it, and they've got to cash in on the majority of their opportunities. And right now, they look like they're on their way. Handoff to Seth Slaughter, or was that the fullback that got the carry this time? I believe maybe it was the fullback. Is that Franco? They peel the bodies up off the ground.
Number 21, the ball.
It was a 2nd down and 5. Slaughter got it.
Yeah, Slaughter got it. And I think Slaughter did a great job, all night long, and just, slowly being patient, weaving his way in there, following those big bodies, and getting positive yards,
Sergeant Slaughter on the carry. Thank you very much.
Though this is a big third down.
Yeah, you got 3 yards out of it, just shy of 2 yards to go. Yeah, this is a big play right here. Ball at about the 21-yard line of the Bulldogs under center. Martinez tosses. And that's a first down for Cody Wallace as he breaks off a couple of tacklers, and he'll take it straight ahead. Cody with the big gain inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. That was a back-breaking run by Cody, and it sets up 1st and goal.
Well, you had a bunch of your linebackers from the Winslow who were blitzing going in, on a run blitz, but, it was a great job by the Blue Ridge up front to pick them up and Cody to find some running room there.
15-yard gain by Wallace on the play. Remember earlier on in the drive, another big gain was on the second play of the possession, an 18-yard run by Seth Slaughter. So the two wingmen, halfbacks, whatever you call them in the double wing, doing a great job. Slaughter gets it, picking his way, going across the 5-yard line, and Slaughter toward the end zone. Blue Ridge wants a touchdown, and the official from the far side comes in and says, yes, touchdown, Blue Ridge. They take it in from 6 yards out.
And Floyd, though this has started on the offense side of the ball, there was a key play on the defense side of the ball that sort of brought this about, and it's where this game is now a 21-7 ball game or 27 ball game at this point, but it could have easily been 14-14 if it wasn't for a great defensive play by number 10.
Take a look at that again as Seth Slaughter just found a little seam. And the Yellow Jackets finish strong. Boy, Seth would not be denied. The point after goes up, and it's good. And Winslow coming up through the middle is going to, I think, rough the kicker or the holder, or maybe both guys. I don't know about that. The kick was, well, I don't even know if the kick was good. I got confused.
Yeah, I thought the kick was good.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. And it is the kick was good. And the Yellow Jackets will kick off, and I think they're going to be kicking from midfield when we come back in just a moment after a word in from our friends at Summit Healthcare. 9:20 on the clock, third period. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota. Blue Ridge in front by 2 touchdowns.
It couldn't be easier scheduling your next appointment at Summit Healthcare's Orthopedic Clinic. And Summit's new roster of orthopedic surgeons includes Dr. Jeffrey Cornelson. Dr. Cornelson brings experience and expertise specializing in joint replacement, arthroscopy, rotator cuff repair, ACL reconstruction, and much more. Schedule your next appointment now. Same day and next day appointments are available. Contact Summit Healthcare at 928-537-6700. That's 928-537-6700.
Insurance is a must, but that doesn't mean you must go broke just paying for it. Contact Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance for a game plan on saving more of your money. Joe and his team offer home, life, auto insurance, and more. With Joe as your insurance quarterback, you'll score big each and every time. And with State Farm cheering you on, how can you lose? Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance, providing blanket coverage of the entire White Mountains. Call Joe at 928-536-7101. That's 928-536-7101.
The Yellow Jackets will kick the ball into the end zone from the Winslow 45 after they marked off the personal foul penalty against Winslow, and that's where they kicked off, and it's a touchback. Winslow gets it at the 20-yard line. Well, 9:21 remaining, only down 2 touchdowns. This is a Bulldog offense that shows they've got weaponry. They've got guys that can get stuff done. They got a good quarterback that throwing from the pocket can deliver well, BJ, but somewhere along the line in all of this, they've got to start delivering, because right now they're showing that they can't seem to stop the Yellow Jacket offense.
And there's 2 things that's going to need to occur right now. As an offensive coordinator, you're going to have to continue to stay in your playbook. Continue to do what you do. Don't try to come out and try to create things and try to get everything back in 1 or 2 plays. You still got to manage your offense, and that, which I think Coach Sawyer is good at this moment. He doesn't panic. He's probably one of the most calm guys you ever want to meet. And, he'll dial up good offensive plays.
There's a pass attempt that is going to go incomplete. The Yellow Jackets do a good job bracketing defensively the receiver, but Sergeant Slaughter gets hurt on the contact. He is limping around. We'll look at the ball come right into your living room, and the defenders converging. A couple of hits there. Slaughter is the guy who broke the pass up. Simmons coming in on it as well, and I think David might have gotten a piece of Seth. He might have been the guy that forces Seth off the field. So Slaughter has to leave, and I think that's we'll see who that is that replaces him. Here's a pass off the far side. Gage Thomas with the reception. And what a great defensive play in space and in the open field on the tackle by Franco Harris.
And that was just a good play, from a linebacker position. Franco Harris, just really dropped back to his zone, waited for the running back to come to him, fit up in open space with a good open field tackle.
The one thing I'll say that he didn't do probably correct on that, because I happen to know Blue Ridge is teaching that alligator tackle method, the head behind, not the head in front.
Okay.
And that time he did go in front. But a good play nonetheless, right?
Exactly.
You'll take that. By the way, just a 2-yard gain on the play. So third down and 8. Lyons is going to roll out to his left and throw back across toward midfield. Is it going to skip in there? Yeah, it skipped in, incomplete. One of the officials that had a good look at it says that slid in. Great attempts on the reception by the Bulldogs. I didn't see who that receiver was. BJ, maybe you caught who that was. Yeah, it definitely skipped in. Oh, that was
Brian Larson.
Larson, yeah.
I'm very familiar last name in the community of Winslow.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to football.
Is he a wrestler?
Very good wrestler.
Yeah.
Very young, but very good.
Your name is Larson. You're probably playing good football. Playing good wrestler. You may be even a good baseball player, right?
I think he runs track.
Runs track. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, ball muffed on the punt return by the Yellow Jackets. Should have been fair caught Somebody's going to have to work with Cody Wallace, I think, on that. And they'll spot it at 46 as Cody is able to protect it for the Yellow Jackets. A near disaster. Would have been a great opportunity, great moment for the Bulldogs, but it's not going to work out. You'll see Cody didn't handle it cleanly.
Yeah, and this is just a time in the moment where your defense cannot panic, but we do have to have a stop here. We can't panic because with 8 minutes left in the game, down by 2 touchdowns, if you let Blue Ridge take 3 to 4 minutes off this clock or 5 minutes off the clock and punch it in, I think it could be a long night.
Yeah, that's going to about do it if that certainly happens. Well, the second 3 and out of the second half, out of 3 Winslow possessions, the Yellow Jacket defense stepping it up, and now they'll toss it and give, and a lot of time coming off the clock in a scrum that will go to the Bulldog 47-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 7 yards on the play, the toss. And you'll see just a mass of humanity.
And I want to tell you, Floyd,
moving the ball ahead.
As I sit here beside you and broadcast this game tonight, and watch this offense of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, and we talked about timeline. For them to implement this type of offense at this stage of our society, where everything on social media, everything on TV is spread, read option, and you coming out with a double wing, you have to give Coach Hathcock and his staff credit to sell this type of offense to his kids.
Yeah.
And perfect it and do very well running it.
Yeah, to have them buy in and then all of a sudden to execute the way they are, and they're getting better every week they come out and run it. This is the best performance yet this season, and they're doing it against a quality Bulldog defense. 2nd and 3. Blue Ridge with the ball in Winslow territory. A 30-second timeout. Word in from Beeman Well Drilling on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota.
The team at Beeman Well Drilling is like a great football team. They work hard, they work as a team, and they play to win. Their reputation is second to none, and they proudly call the White Mountains their home, even though they complete projects throughout the entire southwestern United States and beyond. No project is too big or too small for Beeman Well Drilling, so when the time comes for you to punch a hole in the ground, remember the White Mountains' top well drilling team, Beeman Well Drilling. Call anytime, 928-205-7647. Go deep with Beeman Well Drilling.
Yellow Jackets from the timeout lineup, and they hand it off to Seth Slaughter. Slaughter up the middle. He's got first down yardage, and he's still on his feet, and he's still burning clock. The one thing I don't like about that, with all of that, all that activity on a 4-yard gain, BJ, is the fact that you can get rolled up. You can have an ankle knee issue happen.
Exactly.
With all of that happening in the middle, and the guy staying on his feet, when they get in those close quarters, it's hard to go down, even if you wanted to go down.
Yeah. And you know what? It's for the Winslow Bulldogs, I think it's their first time really seeing an offense like this. The defense for the last 2 weeks have really been playing well. But I think to see an offense like this and to try to scheme for it has to be one of the difficult things, to prepare for.
Yeah, undoubtedly. After the first down, here's an 8-yard pickup. Ball goes all the way to the Bulldog 35-yard line on a Franco Harris carry. Well done by Franco.
And it is. Just a great job of fitting in there, dropping his pad level, being physical between the tackles, running hard. Everything that sort of represent, who your head coach is. Being physical, playing, running hard. Same thing Coach Hathcock used to do back in the early 90s.
Back when he was dominating. Second down and a pair. Hand off again. The fullback has it up the middle for the Yellow Jacket first down. That'll be a 3-yard gain. And they'll peel the bodies up and off. And we'll credit Franco Harris once again on the carry.
Inside handoff to number 2.
And once again, that was just a good defensive play by number 68, Rudy Gonzalez, and the rest of the Bulldogs. Was able to get in there, shed off blockers, make a tackle. With a little bit over 5 minutes left in this game. It's one of those things where I think Coach Guzman can, really be proud of his boys. It's a 21-7 ball game right now. But both defense and offense, they really competed hard. And I just think that both the offensive coordinator and Coach Guzman there's a lot of things they can pull out of this game moving on into the rest of the region play.
First down play from the Winslow 32-yard line. Seth Slaughter will get it, and Sergeant Slaughter takes it to the 29-yard line. 3-yard pickup on the play. As we remind you that coming up in our postgame, we will announce the Sports Zone Radio Player of the Game. By the way, we're getting an official's timeout. I think there might be an injured Winslow player. They're going to get him off the field. We want to introduce a brand new partner of ours on the Game of the Week broadcast. The good people at White Mountain Regional Medical Center have stepped up to present the Sports Zone Radio Player of the Game for the rest of the football season and for the rest of the year on through basketball and baseball. Big thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center, our brand new partners here, and they will bring you the Sports Zone Radio's Player of the Game at the conclusion of our broadcast. Big stuff. And a great new partner of ours here at Sports Zone Radio. 2nd down and 7, long snap count for Hunter Martinez, the quarterback, and the Bulldog offense. They'll toss it to Jace Barton, and Barton is going to take it up the middle. The sophomore running back will go right up the gut, and the Bulldogs on defense will take a timeout with 4:48 remaining, and in play here as it looks like a 3-yard pickup on the play for Barton. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
And that's just
Yellow
great.
Jackets.
It's a good tackle, who just entered the game on the defense side of the ball, Brian Larson, who came up and made a good solid tackle on that.
Don't forget tomorrow's broadcast of the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week. Big stuff. The number 2 ranked Round Valley Elks. That graphic has them backwards. It's number 2 Round Valley at number 4 Show Low. Both teams undefeated. Both teams unbeaten. And you know what? If Round Valley can pull off the win at Show Low tomorrow, it's the Cougars' homecoming. And you'll see there the kickoff at 7 o'clock tomorrow night, but the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show starts at 5 o'clock on your radio. BJ, if Round Valley can pull off the win, I've got to believe that would be enough to vault them into the number 1 spot, number 1 ranking in 3A. Valley Christian is the number 1 team right now. And there are 4 undefeated teams left in the state. Can you name them? 4 undefeated teams. Talk about it in a moment. 3rd down and 4. The Jackets will give it the toss. Sergeant Slaughter has it. And he'll go down right at the line to gain. He's going to have right at 4 yards. And that's exactly what he needed for the first down. We'll see what the officials indicate. I think they're going to say he's just a little bit shy. So how about a 3-yard pickup on that play? It'll bring up 4th down and 1. And the time stopped at 4:31. They'll start it again. And the Winslow scorekeeper is not pressing the go button, and now he did. Yeah, let it wait for about 3 seconds.
So
who are the 4 undefeated teams?
So 2 has to be from the east.
That's right. They're going to play tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
Round Valley and Show Low. There's 2.
Then Valley Christian.
That's the number 1 ranked team, and they're undefeated. Okay, so that's 3 of the 4.
Would it be?
Who's the 4th one?
Would it Yuma Catholic?
It is not Yuma Catholic. They have lost this year. They lost to ALA of Gilbert North.
Well, LA. Is it?
It's not ALA either. They have a loss on their record as well. I think they lost out of the conference, by the way. I think they lost to a 4A team. The Jackets are trying to draw Winslow off, and they'll call timeout before they get flagged with a delay of game. So Coach Hathcock spends the second of his 3 timeouts. No, actually, that was his final one. So he's used up his entire allotment of timeouts. Winslow has 1 remaining, and Blue Ridge is in front 21-7 here, as I let BJ continue to think about who is the other remaining undefeated team in 3A football. I'm going to let you know here, here in just a second. But let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Sports Zone Radio Network.
This is Sports Zone Radio. Champions play here at Sports Zone Radio.
And you're listening live and local in the White Mountains on Sports Zone Radio's White Mountains radio partner. That is 98.5 KRFM Show Low. And with 3:53 remaining in regulation, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets have taken their final timeout. They lead 21-7 right here, and a first down would be such a backbreaker because that's going to take another minute and a half at minimum off the clock on this possession for the Jackets if they don't turn the ball over or if they don't punch it into the end zone quickly.
Exactly.
So 4th down and just under a yard. The Yellow Jackets will line it up. BJ, you've got just a moment to think more about who that remaining undefeated team. There are 4 undefeated teams in 3A football. Under center, Martinez hands it off, and that is a Yellow Jacket first down. And it is Franco Harris carrying the football, and the Yellow Jackets moving the chains.
Well, Floyd, I hate to feel like a failure, but I just cannot think of it.
You know what?
If I was taking an exam 3 out of 4, I guess that's 86%.
I have known you my entire life, BJ, and there is failure is not a word that has ever been associated with you. And not in this situation either. Ball at the 19-yard line. River Valley.
Oh.
River Valley
I would
is
have never guessed it.
The one remaining
I would never guessed
undefeated team.
Right.
Ball at the 19-yard line of Winslow. The Yellow Jackets under center. And Martinez taking some time. He'll give it again to Franco. And Harris going up the middle. The Yellow Jackets right now, well, they're getting a great push. He's still on his feet. And finally taken down near first down yardage on this play. And, boy, you almost feel like if you're Winslow right now, you concede a touchdown, don't you?
And this is what the offense do to you. You indicated that this is the type of offense that has the potential just to wear you down as the game progresses. And as of right now, you know what? We've seen some of the missed tackles where
it's demoralizing, isn't it? You know, I believe that was an 11-yard gain on the play for Franco, and a first down at the Winslow 8-yard line. Another time-consuming drive. You know, the Yellow Jackets got the ball to start this drive at their own 46-yard line, and BJ, they have taken now almost 6 minutes off the clock.
And exactly what Coach Hathcock wanted them to do.
And they're going into the end zone. Toss left side to Seth Slaughter, and Seth has his 4th touchdown of the game. Seth takes it in at the 2:34 mark here in the 4th period. He goes in from 8 yards out, and the Yellow Jackets have scored yet again. And Sergeant Slaughter, how about 4 touchdowns on the night?
And I just think that's as a running back, he has done everything I think Coach Hathcock has asked him to do, to follow and trust his guys up front, in which he did for probably 3 of the 4 touchdowns. And right now he was able to get into a crease and bounce it out for his 4th touchdown.
The point after try is up, and somehow the knuckleball leaks over the crossbar, and it's good. Points on the board again for the Yellow Jackets as they build upon a lead. 28-7 here in the 4th period. The Yellow Jackets look like they are on their way to a 3A East Region victory over Winslow. Stand by, the final 2.5 minutes on the way here on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
The year was 2011. Tim Tebow was still playing quarterback in high school, but he was about to become a legend. With his team behind 17-0, he was tackled and broke his leg. Despite the excruciating pain, he told his coach, "Don't take me out of the game, I want to play." Tim led his team back and scored the game-winning touchdown on a 20-yard run. The start of the Tim Tebow legend. This is Sports Zone Radio's Byron Brown with a message from Beeler Orthodontics in Sholo. A message to every young White Mountains athlete to never give up. Beeler Orthodontics. Live life with a smile.
Blue Ridge about to kick off. You see here on the end, the right end. I don't know if he's the gunner or not, but David Simmons, young David Simmons, my son, out there on the edge for the Yellow Jackets. He is not one of the gunners, you can tell. I think he's the safety guy out there. But one of the things about David, BJ, and you'll appreciate the comment here. You know, with some of the guys you probably played football with in your days and coached in the many years. David, I think, has every pad available and known to man and that he's wearing out there, okay? You name it, he's got the pad.
Well, I will just tell you, okay? If that's the case, he utilized them tonight, all right?
That was a couple of times, yeah.
Because I will not indicate it because you're sitting here right beside me, but the 4th down play in the end zone, all right, I believe that was a game changer.
He made a good play, didn't he? Yeah.
You know, why? Because you're looking at a 14-point ball game. You know,
he's got a tough assignment right now. He's going to try to cover Johnson on the near side of the field, but they throw the other way, incomplete.
And he has done a good job. He has done a good job on Johnson by not allowing Johnson, to run those deep routes where a quarterback can connect up with it.
Well, I will say this. Look, he plays he plays defensive back out there on that edge the way I played and the way his older brothers played, okay? And one thing that we were all mortified at letting happen would be somebody getting behind you and making a play, making a long play. Catch it in front of us. We'll try to come up and make that tackle, but, something about the ball over your head.
I'm going to make a recall here, okay? I'm going to make a recall here.
Okay.
Because I will always say, especially if you continue to work hard, you'll make your breaks. Somewhere during the game, through your ability to work hard to make your breaks.
Okay.
Right? I believe right there in 85, 86, playing the Winslow Bulldogs.
Oh, yes.
All right. There was a key interception at a key junction of the ball game.
I remember that. Yeah. It was 1985.
Okay.
My senior year, your freshman year.
Exactly. Okay.
Holbrook against Winslow. Big game, final game of the season.
And
as we watched the quarterback run around and deliver downfield, beautifully done. And a great pass caught upfield by Winslow. Let's check it for you. On the receiving end was Chris Arellano.
And Chris Arellano is a running back that comes out of backfield. But actually, Chris Arellano is a good receiver. He has the ability to catch the ball, and I think that's been one of Jace's favorite targets this year. But that just tells you the athletic ability that this quarterback does have.
Hey, biggest play from scrimmage. I got that as a 34-yard gain on the pass play. Yeah, I mean, listen, Jace Lyons is a terrific quarterback, and he shows it right there.
He does.
Back to 1985, Holbrook against Winslow at Roadrunner Stadium.
Yeah.
Final game of the year.
Final game of the year.
How about Richard Smith, that great quarterback that Winslow had at that time?
Yeah.
Remember him, Mitty?
Mitty.
And he wound up and launched at the end of the game. I think we were beating Winslow, weren't we, by 2? Was it 4?
Yeah.
It was a close game. We're winning, and it's in the final minute. And Meady winds up. He had just a bazooka of an arm, and he throws deep downfield. And, I was hanging back there somewhere.
You were.
Hanging back there somewhere.
And we all knew Meady can throw.
Oh, yes.
Because he was a dynamic catcher.
Oh, yes.
And the much as we like to steal on Meady, we were not going to steal on Winslow and Meady.
That's right. Well, I did intercept that ball.
Yes, you did.
To help in the preservation of a Roadrunner win. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that was. Hey, thanks for reminding me of that moment. I forgot all about that.
I told you I got to make a recall.
Thank you. You have great recall. Wow, man.
Thinking of archives.
Yeah. Man, that is awesome. I seem to recall you had a handful of really long runs from scrimmage as a freshman that year on the freshman team, and then you came up and you played with us on the varsity a lot. Got some action as a freshman. Boy, didn't you have like a 98, 99-yard run from scrimmage as a freshman?
I did.
If I'm not mistaken?
I did.
And who was that against?
I think Sholo.
Yeah, I remember something along those lines. It was pretty special, pretty big. The ball at the Yellow Jacket 40-yard line with 1:28 remaining. Fake it right, throw back to the middle, trying to set the screen up. There's nobody there. It hits an offensive lineman. That will be an illegal receiver, and that is going to be a penalty on the Bulldogs.
But I will tell you, though this is at 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the ball game, a 28-7 ball game, I really there's been a lot of positive things, that the offense have, Winslow Bulldogs was able to do early in the game, and I just think those are some of the things that, Coach Guzman will go back and prepare his kids and get them ready for next week. But I would just tell you, it's like to go against a offense like Blue Ridge, something that you cannot mimic in practice.
That's true, right?
It's hard.
Tough to prepare. A 10-yard mark off 3rd down and 10. They'll give it up the middle. And that's Gage Thomas. And a nice gain.
Good run
for Thomas. He gets back all that penalty yardage lost and then some.
That was just great downhill physical running by Gage.
16-yard gain. It'll bring up 4th down and 4 for the Bulldogs with now 1:05 remaining. Hey, I want to say hi to Coach Tim Slade. You know Coach Slade.
Yes.
One-time head coach of the Sholo Cougars, long-time head coach of the Mogollon Mustangs. He coaches with American Leadership Academy of Gilbert North as well these days, and he was a collegiate offensive lineman. Going to mention him again here in just a second as Winslow throws the post route toward the middle of the field. The safety vacated where he ended up behind the play, and it's Micah Johnson on the receiving end of that one, and that is good for 30 yards on the pass play. That takes it to the Yellow Jacket 10-yard line, 1st and goal, right at that spot. But Coach Slade listening in on the broadcast, making a couple of comments. Thank you, Tim, for being out there. By the way, a guy who also does some broadcasting with us here at Sports Zone Radio. He says, as an offensive line coach, I love the double tight end, double wing, as we see an incomplete pass toward the corner of the end zone. Ariano, the intended receiver, and that's over his head. Let's see. Coach Slade said, "I love the double tight end, double wing, but he hates to play against it."
Tell you.
And he puts an exclamation point at the end. At the end of it, hates to play against it.
And now you have brought back into the community in the Blue Ridge program a offensive running juggernaut.
The only thing missing from the Yellow Jacket. A double wing is the leather helmets.
Exactly.
And we'll see Winslow flush from the pocket. Lyons fakes it, dips back inside a defender, and he's going to go down near the goal line. And right at about the 2-yard line, Winslow grabs a timeout with 16 seconds remaining here in regulation.
And that's just a great job by Jace. You could tell what type of athleticism this young man has, and he really does a lot of amazing things out there from the quarterback position, and just a great athlete, great young man, great family, comes from a great family, and
older brother, right? Jason? No, well, it wouldn't be Jason. Jason in the same family. It was a J though. Older brother that was a great hitter, Jalen, great. Center fielder and a great hitter with the baseball program. Graduated maybe 2 years ago. Last year, I don't know.
Had the ability to run everything down in the outfield. Great athlete in the outfield. All right. And I would just tell you, I just hope this kid goes to move on.
Look, I'd take him as my quarterback any day of the week. I think you could be a great team with him. And Winslow can yet be great this season. This one here tonight, they couldn't figure out the double wing. And defensively, the Yellow Jackets, they did figure a few things out about the Bulldogs. Made some key stops, got a turnover or two in the game, and they've got a 3-touchdown lead right now with 16 seconds remaining. Can Winslow punch it in? 28-7 our score here now. And we'll get a chance to look. Again, the only thing left remaining for that Yellow Jackets offense is the leather helmets and the missing 2 or 3 front teeth that you got, in the days of the double wing. So a 3rd down and goal for the Bulldogs. The ball at the Yellow Jacket 2-yard line. Lions looking to the middle of the field. It's intercepted. The Yellow Jackets step in front and take it away. Is that Cody Wallace, the safety, patrolling the middle of the field? Hard to tell who that is. No, it's not. In fact, we're going to call a name we haven't called all night long. Jason Bonito. Jason Bonito in the middle of that defense.
And that's a great job. I'll be honest with you. That was actually a great job of him reading, because there's one thing as a defensive coordinator, you want to advise your defensive backs is that if a quarterback decides to throw the ball across the middle of the defense late, it has to be a consequence. And that's just a great indicator right there.
Jace, I don't think he really spent a lot of time looking at that receiver in the middle. And again, you see it right there. Good job, good call, you, Coach, on that's a dangerous place to throw the football, especially when you're intending to throw to that corner.
But at this junction,
pretty much all the way.
But at this junction at the game is like there's some things as a young man that you really just try to make happen. It's getting a lot of pressure coming off the edge. It was just really trying to make something happen. But I would just tell you, as for the majority of this game, though there was a little bit of skirmish at the end of that last play, this was a hard-fought ball game. All right.
It really was. And played well on both sides of the ball for sure.
Exactly. And these two, and I tell you personally, I know that these two coaches respect each other. You know, they respect their programs. They respect each other as individuals. All right. All right. Pardon? He says, "Be careful going home."
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Always great hospitality, these folks in Winslow.
And that's what they are.
And
that's what they are.
And they didn't throw any tomatoes at us while we were calling the broadcast here, right in the middle of the stands.
You know, and I'm just very biased and selfish when it comes to it.
How about this guy? How about this guy, Mr.
Baca?
Mr. Baca.
Yeah.
Hey, Leonard. Hey, Leonard. Hey, Len.
That's
always great to see you.
Yeah.
Always great to see you. Everybody across Northeast Arizona knows who Leonard Baca is. He is absolutely Winslow's super fan. He'll be at each and every game. Doesn't matter the sport, and it doesn't matter where it is. What a great guy! For decades, he has been following and supporting these Bulldogs wherever they are. But tonight it turns into a Yellow Jacket victory here on Winslow's field, 28-7. And if you are the head coach of the Yellow Jackets, Jeremy Hathcock, I think you've got to be extremely proud of your team. They are playing better and better, and they're getting guys a little more healthy. They've been plagued with injury. They've been playing better and better football as they've gone along, and this has got to be the best performance yet this season for the Yellow Jackets. Played well for a half of football last week against Prescott, and then had to hold on for dear life in the second half. Couldn't really execute on offense much. And I think if Prescott had another minute of clock in that game, they probably win that game because they had all the momentum in the final moments. But here tonight, it was a kind of a bookend, end-to-end complete performance by the Yellow Jackets to get the win.
Yes, it was. And you know what? It's one of those things where we indicated that this offense is not a passing offense, and that it sort of reminds you of the old wishbone type offense, where you're going to be committed to one thing all night long, all right? And you're going to hang your hat, whether it's a win or loss, on that. And that's what the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets done tonight, all right? They're committed into running this type double wing T type offense.
It's no doubt about it.
And what do they say? Is 5 yards in a cloud of dust, all right? In which, as you see in the second half, they were able to wear down some of the players of the Winslow Bulldogs. Those runs that were 5-6 yards, where we indicated early that, you know, that we love to have, became 14, 15 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And a victory tonight on the road for the Jackets. They're gonna love this one, and they get a night off tomorrow night. They get to go watch, if they want, maybe watch that huge game at Cholo High School. Undefeated Cholo, undefeated Round Valley tomorrow night. Folks, we'll get to our post-game wrap-up in just a moment. Announce the White Mountain Regional Medical Center's player of the game. That's coming up in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Final score 28-7, Blue Ridge on top. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week presented by Hatch Toyota.
Toyota in Cholo has joined forces with several lenders for a special savings event. It's the $39.95 Vehicle Acquisition Sale. Choose from hundreds of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. All you pay is the $39.95 acquisition, and then start making the payments. These vehicles have been acquired at incredible savings from local trades, banks, credit unions, lease companies, as well as other dealer inventory. Hundreds of vehicles are on display at the massive Hatch Toyota lot. Over $5 million worth of new and pre-owned inventory will be disposed of. Choose from Toyotas, Ford, Chevys, Hondas, Nissan, Dodges, to name just a few. All you pay is the $39.95 acquisition fee. Then take over the payments. Pick your vehicle, pick your payments, and then pay the $39.95 acquisition fee. Hatch Toyota in the Northern Arizona Auto Mall and at HatchToyota.com.
Hi, this is Chaz Hatch. I won't lose a deal over $1, and you have my word on it.
Approved credit cannot be combined with any other offers or discounts. Plus tax and license and dealer documentation fees.
Switch to Naked Mobile today, and for a limited time, you'll get the Google Pixel 2 XL free. The Google Pixel 2 XL with a bigger 6-inch display, super fast performance, and greater battery reserve. This phone delivers. Activate with Naked Mobile and get the Google Pixel 2 XL for free when you switch and purchase 3 months of our $60 a month 20 gigabyte LTE data plan. Did we mention it's bigger, faster, stronger, and it's free? Naked Mobile with coverage on America's best networks. No contract, no credit check, no hidden fees. Available at any Cellular One store near you or at nakedmobile.com.
What do tickets tickets to the Willis Farm in Snowflake, tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and tickets to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert all have in common? Well, this month, when you use the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass to replace your insured windshield, you have a shot at getting them all. This month, everyone who gets an insured windshield replaced gets 2 tickets to the
Willis Farm Haunt, Night of Pestilence.
And then your name goes in the hat to be drawn for an escape to Las Vegas, where you will have lower level premium tickets to the December 11th championship night of the National Finals Rodeo. And fantastic tickets that same weekend to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert on their last tour. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today, 536-5972.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Show Low, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer.
Hey, welcome back to Winslow High School, the site of tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast presented by Hatch Toyota. And our postgame wrap-up now on a successful night for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. They moved to 5-2 on the season, 5-2 their record. They came in ranked number 12. Winslow was ranked number 9, and now the second loss on the record for the Bulldogs. And it comes here tonight at their home. The Yellow Jackets, just very successfully and effectively running that offense. There's that double wing offense. Never seen it before with Blue Ridge. Well, guess what? You're going to get heavy doses of it from this point forward. They can't throw the ball very effectively, but on a night like tonight, they prove that they can run it, and they've got some tough guys, tough kids running behind a pretty stout offensive line to chew up a lot of clock and move the ball down the field. Hey, the scoring looked like this tonight. The Yellow Jackets got the ball first, and they opened up the scoring on their opening drive of the game. Just about a 5-minute drive that covered 70 yards of field, 12 plays that opening drive, and the Yellow Jackets were able to punch it in on a Seth Slaughter 2-yard touchdown run with 7:13 on the clock in the first period. The kick was good, and Blue Ridge opened up a 7-0 lead. The Bulldogs got the ball, and they marched down the field an 11-play drive that covered 57 yards, and they got it into the end zone. In fact, that was a 6-minute and 16-second drive to start the game for the Bulldogs. Brian Larson carried it in from 8 yards out, and the point after tied the game at 7 apiece with just under a minute remaining in the first quarter. Throughout the rest of the first half, we wouldn't see any scoring until there was 11 seconds remaining in the half. The Yellow Jackets had gotten the ball after a Winslow fumble at the Bulldog 26-yard line, and it only took 4 plays for the Jackets to punch it in. An 11-yard touchdown run, the second of the night for Seth Slaughter, and the kick was good to make it 14-7 Blue Ridge on top with 11 seconds remaining in the first half. That was your halftime score. The Yellow Jackets would add points on their second possession of the second half. It was a drive that covered and took exactly 7 minutes of clock and 97 yards of field. A 97-yard drive. Let's see how many plays. 12 plays and exactly 7 minutes burned off the clock. All of those things are big successes for the Yellow Jackets and part of the big win. And, of course, cashing it in for points at the end on a Seth Slaughter 6-yard touchdown run is the icing on the cake for the Yellow Jackets with that possession. The kick was good. Blue Ridge had a 21-7 lead with, at that point, 9:21 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Yellow Jackets added one more touchdown the next time they got it back after holding Winslow on a 3-and-out. The Yellow Jackets went on a 54-yard, 9-play drive that covered 5 minutes and 41 seconds, and it was Seth Slaughter again. Sergeant Slaughter taking it in one more time for his 4th touchdown of the game. He accounted for all of the touchdown scoring for the Yellow Jackets tonight. That last run was 8 yards, and the kick made it 28-7. That was your final score in this one tonight. If you're relegated to running the double wing, I think that tonight was a clinic put on by the Yellow Jackets on how to do it, BJ, against a good team. I know that there are teams out there running that when they run into a less than good team, they can put a lot of points on the board. The Yellow Jackets have done that this year, score 50-plus points against an inferior opponent. But against a good team, a team like this Winslow team, this is exactly kind of the way you script it, isn't it?
Yes. Against a quality football team like the Winslow Bulldogs, especially on the defense side of the ball, who's been playing very well coming into this game, and the way the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets was able to execute this double wing type of offense where you have to give big contribution to those guys up front, who fired off the ball, fit up on the defensive guy, and the running backs who's being very patient just to fit in behind them. All right, once they feel that they have areas to break out and run, they did so. But to be very patient and the way they did, Coach Hathcock has to be very proud of his young men. Not to speaking of all the adversity that have been going through during the course of the year, and still to come out and do what they have done tonight against a quality football team in the Winslow Bulldogs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, still trying to get some guys healthy. They did get Christian Roman back to full-time play today. Saw him out there a lot, and he made a couple of plays for the team as he comes back from a previous injury. But injuries have been a situation, have been a problem. We saw Seth Slaughter leave the field for a moment today in the game. Cody Wallace, I think, left dinged up, but he came back. But, this Yellow Jacket team keeps getting battered and bruised out there. They're looking for a clean game at some point in the year where they can get through one and make it through okay. On the other side, BJ, because, we'd be remiss if we didn't say something about this performance by the Bulldogs, because though they did not successfully put together the kind of execution that they would want to in a game, certainly they didn't win the game, and that's going to disappoint Coach Guzman and the rest of the guys. They showed some great moments, and they showed that they have the guys to get some real damage done. And I want to begin with Jace Lyons, the quarterback. I just think that Jace is a fantastic athlete at quarterback. He's a great passer, and it's just a matter of really getting into sync, I think. But I start there, and I say that this is a team that's got some quality players, both sides of the ball, and you cannot sleep on Winslow. If you do, you're going to get hurt in the 3A East. That's a Bulldog team that could beat anybody top to bottom in the region.
And I think this is one of the things that we had discussed in the pregame show, Floyd, that the quality of football in Northeast Arizona is back of the old 3A East because every given night, you can sit here and you can say, Round Valley will win tomorrow now. You should say Shola will win tomorrow. You just don't know. They're ranked number 2 and 4 for a reason, all right? And if you minimize some of the turnovers, bad snaps in this ball game, it may be a different story tonight, all right? But for you to indicate earlier that nobody in the 3As should take Winslow Bulldogs lightly, you shouldn't, because this is a quality football team, all right?
Yeah, 100%. They can bring it on defense, and they got an offense with weapons and a quarterback who once they figure it out, once they get it all put together, they're gonna make you pay if you're not prepared. The Yellow Jackets clearly were prepared. You mentioned an interesting thing, preparing against the double wing. How do you do it? How do you have a week of practice and effectively prepare against what you're going to see on Friday night when the team is lining up, double tight ends, double wings, and running the ball straight down your throat?
I think it's one of the most difficult things to ever try to prepare for, all right? Because it's so repetitive, all right? It's power, dive, power, sometimes a counter or a reverse. It's one of those things is that the real preparation don't happen until after the first quarter. All right, then you can really have opportunity of what it feels like and look like. All right, but to spend a week in practice to try to have a scout offense mimic what this offense from Blue Ridge is capable of doing,
tough to do.
It's tough to do.
The Blue Ridge gets to win 28-7. Our postgame will continue in just a moment. We'll be speaking with a couple of those heroes tonight for the Yellow Jackets coming up. We will not speak with the Sports Zone Radio's player of the game. If you hadn't figured it out by now, you need to get your football IQ moving in the right direction, because there was a young man out there on that Blue Ridge team that crossed the goal line 4 times, scored every touchdown put up on the board tonight for the Yellow Jackets. And if he doesn't get it, the White Mountain Regional Medical Center player of the game tonight, well, then we're not doing our job very well or paying much attention. So we'll talk about that young man here in just a moment and announce the Sports Zone Radio's player of the game. It is presented by our newest member of our broadcasting and marketing team, advertising team, White Mountain Regional Medical Center. Joining us now here at Sports Zone Radio. I'm very grateful to have them along as a partner with us here at Sports Zone Radio. I know we're going to speak for sure to Cody Wallace. We'll see who else joins us here in just a bit, as well as head coach Jeremy Hathcock as our postgame continues from Winslow in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. The final again, Blue Ridge 28, Winslow 7. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Stand by.
Insurance is a must, but that doesn't mean you must go broke just paying for it. Contact Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance for a game plan on saving more of your money. Joe and his team offer home, life, auto insurance, and more. With Joe as your insurance quarterback, you'll score big each and every time. And with State Farm cheering you on, how can you lose? Joe Bjorn State Farm Insurance, providing blanket coverage of the entire White Mountains. Call Joe at 928-536-7101. That's 928-536-7101.
What do tickets to the Willis Farm in Snowflake, tickets to the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, and tickets to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert all have in common? Well, this month, when you use the experts at Mountain Mobile Auto Glass to replace your insured windshield, you have a shot at getting them all. This month, everyone who gets an insured windshield replaced gets 2 tickets to the
Willis Farm Haunt, Night of Pestilence.
And then your name goes in the hat to be drawn for an escape to Las Vegas, where you will have lower level premium tickets to the December 11th championship night of the National Finals Rodeo. And fantastic tickets that same weekend to see Brooks and Dunn and Reba live in concert on their last tour. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today, 536-5972.
When it comes to paint, whether you're looking for interior or exterior paint, Dunn Edwards provides quality solutions to make all your painting projects look professional. And the home of Dunn Edwards in the White Mountains is Ace Hardware in Show Low, Pine Top, and Heber Overgard. Thanks to Dunn Edwards, Ace has the best interior paint for your home or office, and their exterior paint will stand up to the wear and tear of our tough seasonal weather. When it's time to paint, it's time to visit Ace Hardware of the White Mountains for high-quality Dunn Edwards interior and exterior paint and primer.
Hey, back here at Winslow High School for a final segment here as we wrap it up, and I say my goodbyes and my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to my broadcast partner tonight, BJ Little, who steps in at the last moment and sits in on the broadcast. And you know what? You were in mid-season form, man. You hadn't done a broadcast yet this year, but you're ready to go, man.
No, Floyd. First of all, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to come out tonight. It's always enjoyable to sit next to you. To have opportunity to watch a good high school football game.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the most important thing, Floyd, I just want to tell you and your crew, I truly, from the deep of my heart, appreciate what you guys do for Northeast Arizona and the young athletes who get the exposure out here through you guys' program. And I just thank you guys for being so dedicated to our young children of America of Northeast Arizona.
Well, thank you for saying it and putting it in that way, Judge Little. Do appreciate that more than I can tell you. And before I do let you throw the microphone down, we've got to announce the Sports Zone Radio's Player of the Game, and that's presented by our newest broadcast partner, White Mountain Regional Medical Center. They are the presenting sponsors of the Player of the Game. And among the things that's going to mean moving forward, they're going to be with us all year long doing this through football and basketball and the spring sports as well that we cover, providing our Player of the Game presentation. Every time we do a broadcast, they're also going to be providing T-shirts as well. We don't have them yet, but we'll get them and we'll have them. We'll be able to present those to the young men and women that we're able to honor with our Player of the Game presentation. So thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center.
Thank you.
And that Player of the Game, now, we didn't have our statistician with us tonight, so we don't have the exact numbers. Not most of the numbers anyway. We understand that Blue Ridge had about 297 yards rushing tonight. Okay? 297 yards rushing. And the guy that led the way on the ground scored 4 touchdowns for them. And you'll see them, those watching video, see one of those great runs just a moment ago. And that's number 21, the Sergeant Slaughter, Seth Slaughter. 4 touchdowns, BJ. He was a man in that running game all night long, and he is our Sports Zone Radio Player of the game.
You know what? Sergeant Slaughter lived up to his name.
He did.
What a football name.
He really did.
Sergeant Slaughter. All right. What an absolutely wonderful football name. And, he really played well tonight. All right. I think he was very smart, not only smart, but very physical between the tackles. He stayed behind those big guys up front, and just really did an absolutely wonderful job on the offense side of the ball.
He really did. And he picks up the Sports Zone Radio's Player of the Game. It's presented to you by White Mountain Regional Medical Center, and we thank the good people at the White Mountain Regional Medical Center in Springerville for their partnership with us here now at Sports Zone Radio. BJ, great job tonight. Thanks for being here, and can't wait to have you back again soon, okay?
Thank you, buddy. You guys be safe, okay?
You got it, my brother, my friend.
Right.
Love you, man.
Love you.
All right, folks, we're gonna continue on in our post game, and we have a couple of victims we're going to bring on and talk to here from our broadcast location at Winslow High School. You want to sit back there? That's fine. I'll join you back there. I'll jump back a little bit. Are we going to be okay? You going to have that perspective on camera? All right. Throw that microphone on, and we'll get going with our post-game wrap-up. I'm about to sneeze as well, so if you don't mind if I burn a little video there, Derek. Some of your bits and bytes there on the memory card. Okay, maybe this sneeze is going to leave me. We'll get into it. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Winslow High School for tonight's Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week broadcast. It's presented by Hatch Toyota, and tonight that double wing run 'em, ground and pound offense for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets was in fine form against a tough Winslow defense. Tonight, the Yellow Jackets get a 3A East Region victory. Final score 28-7 at Winslow's home, and a big win. Probably the best game that I've seen, certainly for the Yellow Jackets front to back. They really executed well, played well, and ran that offense almost to perfection. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Floyd Simmons. As we wrap it up for you, let's bring on one of the heroes of the night for the Yellow Jackets. The strength of this team, if you talk to the coaches, talk to the players, I think they're all going to pretty much tell you that they believe that the strength is their offensive line. And this guy, number 72, great offensive line number, Royer Gonzalez joins us, the senior O-lineman, stepping in to talk about the victory tonight. And first thing I say is just congratulations, big win, and a really convincing win for your team that's getting better and better running this offense, this double wing offense. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
So Royer, you have to make a big change. I don't know. You guys made the change about 4 weeks ago. About a month ago, you went to this offense. And I know that Coach Hathcock spent a lot of time trying to figure out what he thought was the best thing to do. You landed on this. How long did it take for you to become a believer, to buy in, to say, okay, well, this is our new identity and this is what we're going to do?
It didn't take me long. Some of our guys picked up on it really quickly, so I'm very proud of those guys. I'm very proud of my O-line and the guys in the back.
Offensive lineman Royer Gonzalez joining us here as we break down a 28-7 victory for the Yellow Jackets over Winslow tonight. Coming in and playing at Winslow, what were the thoughts in your mind? They were ranked number 9, you're ranked number 12, and it's a good team, and they've shown well this season. Was there a sense of urgency with the club, the team, and coming out and taking on Winslow?
We were more prepared. Every day at practice, we were going hard, and we were making sure we did our assignments correctly, so we were prepared.
A couple of very long practices this week, right, with the team?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Monday, Tuesday practices, they were the never-ending practices, but the payoff is a victory on a night like tonight. And your team now, with a 5-2 record, could easily be 6-1. Had many opportunities to win that opening game against Safford this year that you ended up losing. I don't know. How do you feel where do you feel the team is? How do you feel about this team with all the adversity that you've gone through this year to be where you're at right now? Again, with that a 5-2 record, and you might even jump into the top 10 rankings after this win tonight.
I feel like we've done a very good job at overcoming all the adversity that's been going on, and I feel like my guys have done a very good job as well. It's it's just awesome. It's very cool to see these guys, just show up and give it their all.
Yeah, because the record could be the opposite, right? It really could. Back on the offensive scheme, the things that your team is doing now to try to be successful with the double wing offense, everybody knows what's going to happen. I mean, on just about any given play, I think you attempted 3 passes tonight as a team, if I'm not mistaken. On any given play, it's going to be a run between the tackles. Talk about being an offensive lineman running this thing. Are you having fun doing it? There's a lot of traffic in the middle of the field. It's a very traffic-intensive situation. Are you having fun with it?
Yes, I'm having a lot of fun with it. This is a great time, and I'm very happy to be here.
All right, good stuff, Royer. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations, big win for you and the guys, and keep the good work going on up front, okay?
Thank you.
All right, one of the offensive linemen that makes it happen for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. That's Royer Gonzalez, senior offensive lineman, and we'll be speaking to others. Look for another interview coming up with Cody Wallace, one of the running backs that had a good night tonight against Winslow. Does a lot of great work on defense as well. Also Coach Hathcock, Jeremy Hathcock, as well. As we continue, our final score tonight on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, Thursday edition, Blue Ridge takes down Winslow 28-7. The final tonight. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. And, those listening on radio and those watching our video, we continue on because we're shooting our highlights packages right here, and we'll bring on our next guest, the next young man who stepped it up tonight in a Blue Ridge victory. Let's continue with that here. At Winslow High School, everybody, Floyd Simmons for Sports Zone Radio, and the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Welcome back into Winslow, and I'm joined by one of the guys that made a difference tonight in a Blue Ridge victory, a 3A East Region win over the Winslow Bulldogs. Final score 28-7. Had to go on the road to get this win, but it's a very satisfying one, I'm sure, for these Yellow Jackets. Let's bring on Cody Wallace, offensive player, defensive player, guy that stepped up and made a lot of contributions tonight. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Cody, you guys came in. Winslow was ready. They came out. They played hard. They fought hard. I thought they had a really good team with some weapons. A great quarterback, Jace Lyons, I think, is a terrific quarterback. I don't know a team out there that wouldn't mind having Jace on their squad. It's a good team, but in my opinion, the Yellow Jackets played the best game that I've seen you play all year. You played well in the first half against Prescott last week. This was a more complete win. Do you feel the same way, and do you echo a sentiment I would give you now, and that is that the Yellow Jackets are getting better and better with every game?
Yeah, I'd have to say our line is getting better at blocking and knowing where they're blocking. And our backs are definitely running a lot better with their eyes and finding those cutback lanes and those holes. But it's all got to go to our line because they're the ones making the hole and doing the dirty work for us.
Unquestionably, we talked to Royer Gonzalez just a moment ago. One of those guys up front making big-time contributions and making things happen in your running game. Your team against a solid defense that knows you're going to run just about every play, you guys were still able to run for about 300 yards. About 297 yards rushing is what they had locally here. We didn't have a statistician on hand with us tonight, unfortunately, so we don't have those exact numbers. But, again, what's it like when you know that the defense pretty much knows what you're going to do? Maybe they don't know which wing is getting it, or is this the time that Franco Harris, the fullback, is going to get the ball? But it's coming between the tackles just about every time. Yeah, you line up and you do it, and you guys are seeing success.
Yeah, it's a scary factor that they know we're going to run the ball because we pass maybe 3 times a game at the most, but it's also a good feeling when you can trust your line and know that they're going to make their blocks and they're going to create those holes for you to run through.
Cody, you played a great game, and really on both sides of the ball. I saw you active out there on defensively from your safety position and running the ball again in heavy traffic against a good defense. You did a good job toting the rock, and for that reason, we wanted you to come and join us. But I want to ask you to give a comment about the Sports Zone Radio's Player of the Game, and that's presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center, our newest partner here at Sports Zone Radio. Thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center. We're not going to speak to him. We talked to him the last time out with Blue Ridge, and that's Sergeant Slaughter, Seth Slaughter. Scored all 4 touchdowns for your team tonight, and boy, I tell you, just turned in a great game. Give me your thoughts playing in that backfield and the kind of game that he gave you tonight.
It's a lot of fun knowing that both sides or both wings can run the ball and that we can find holes and shoot gaps. I got to hand to Seth. He knows how to get down and dirty when he needs to and get those extra yards. A lot like Franco Harris, he pounds the ball, and when he needs to lower his shoulder, he lowers his shoulder.
Yeah, great stuff. And a complete win for your team tonight, right? I mean, going back to the comment earlier, I think the most complete win. I think the best game your team has played all season. I don't know if you feel the same way. Thoughts on where you think the team is right now?
I think we're progressing over the year. I mean, starting off with having to learn a new offense within the 4 or 5 days of our quarterback having a transfer. But I mean, I think we made a good adjustment and a big adjustment. Just the offense we're running, we got to keep pounding the ball.
Well, listen, Cody, you're doing a great job, okay? But I know that football doesn't own your heart. Okay, you're a baseball guy, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, and I'm sure hopeful. You're looking at the prospects of playing collegiately, continuing your baseball career, and you are a terrific baseball athlete. Okay, so let's begin with that in mind. And I just want to ask you about you see on the video, you see the look here. You see the Dodger blue. The championship thing. Who's your team, by the way?
I'm from Washington, so I have to go with the Mariners. I mean, that's just my number one team. I know they may not be the best, but they always make a late season run. But I have to go with the Mariners.
All right, the Seattle Mariners. You don't hear that often, in these parts.
You don't.
Okay, but did you happen to check out the National League wild card game last night and the Chris Taylor walk-off home run for the Dodgers? Did you check that out?
I was watching the whole game. I'm a big baseball guy. I watch just about every playoff season game. I thought it was crazy. I mean, if you look at his swing, he's going for the fences every time. Same with Cody Bellinger.
Absolutely.
But that was a big time game and a big time win.
Yeah, and it was an incredible moment when they walked it off in the 10th inning and Chris Taylor hit that home run. And I just mentioned all of that for two reasons. One is because I'm decked out in my Dodger gear, and because I know you as a baseball guy. So good stuff. We'll bring it back to football and just say congratulations. Great job tonight. Great job, you and the team. Hard-fought win, and you deserved it out there.
Thank you very much. Pleasure having you come and record us and stuff.
Yeah, you got it, my man. Okay, Cody Wallace right there. And he and the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets get a 28-7 victory tonight on the road at Winslow. And they take down a quality Winslow team along the way. Blue Ridge right now 5-2. Will they crack into the top 10 rankings? Maybe so. They've got Round Valley, by the way, next. And look for our other video coverage, discussions with Royer Gonzalez, the offensive lineman, and head coach Jeremy Hathcock as well. The Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week is presented by Hatch Toyota. Come on in, Coach.
That's it by you, man.
Let me give you that. We continue live. We continue live here, both on radio and on video, from Winslow High School. Coach Hathcock apparently not terribly happy about my gear tonight. My Dodger blue.
You know, even though the Diamondbacks are terrible, you still gotta keep it local, man. Come on.
You got to give that love. Well, yep. I try to. Okay, I try to, but I have a philosophy. I have a theory here, and my theory is that the Diamondbacks ownership doesn't like you very much as a fan. Okay. If you look at the money spent and the acquisitions, they don't seem to like you as a fan as much as you like them.
You're right.
Okay?
No, they like my money, but they don't like giving away theirs. Okay.
That's right.
I see where you're going. So you got to have a number 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right. And I just love the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So okay, let's continue on and let's wrap up our video portion here tonight by talking with the head coach here, Jeremy Hathcock. Back in one last visit here from Winslow High School tonight on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, everybody. Floyd Simmons here. And our game coverage is presented to you by Hatch Toyota. Part of the Friday night football show tonight was a special Thursday night game. And we got to come on out and cover it tonight. Remember that tomorrow we'll be at Sholo High School. The 2 undefeateds, number 2 Round Valley at number 4 Sholo. More on that coming up in a little bit. Let's get to the point at hand, and that is tonight's victory. 28-7, the win tonight for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets as they knock off the Winslow Bulldogs. That Winslow team is solid. They've got weapons on both sides of the ball. Offensively, the quarterback, Jace Lyons, is solid, and they've got guys that can do something with the ball when in hand. But tonight, the win belongs to Blue Ridge because I think the Yellow Jackets played their most complete game, played their best game of the year, and we'll find out if Coach Hathcock concurs. Coach, welcome into the broadcast.
Yeah, thanks, Floyd. Appreciate it. It's always good to be here with you, man. I got 2 microphones rocking right now, brother.
Yeah, we're going both directions here. Okay. Well, Coach, again, I'll go back to I think it's the best game that your team has played. Maybe you look at it different. Maybe you think differently. But, boy, I tell you, it's so complete from front to back. And you did everything against a quality team that I think that you would set out to do when you're running the offense. You're running where you know everybody in the stadium knows what you're going to do with the ball. Right. And yet you're getting 5 yards, 8 yards, 15 yards a game.
Yeah, well, I'm learning patience. I'll tell you that. And, it definitely is not what we set out to do at the beginning of the year. But, I think you have to really look at your team and where we are now and the things we've gone through. And we realize at this particular moment, this is who we are. And like I said before, Floyd, our talent is up front. We got some pretty good little running backs. We've literally practiced this 12 days, 7 days on air because our numbers are what they are for this moment. But defensively, Frank Girardi had a great game plan, put it together. Our back end did a great job tonight, I thought, and I'll talk about players in particular. But it's funny because I go out there in our old line. I said, "Okay, guys, what do you want?" They're like, "Coach, just keep running inside. We're fine. Just keep running it inside." Yep. I probably won't tell you what exactly they said, but I can tell you that they definitely opened up a can and had a little fun tonight interiorly.
All right, head coach Jeremy Hathcock of Blue Ridge. They get a 28-7 3A East Region victory over Winslow tonight here at the home of the Bulldogs. So you get the road win, Coach. You mentioned defense. You mentioned Coach Girardi and the game plan. Let me take you to a moment that I think maybe then speaks to that, okay? It was somewhere in the middle of the game, maybe the third quarter-ish time frame. And Winslow is trying to move the ball down the field, and they tried to run a screen pass. Yep. And they had looked it off to the right side and then came back to the opposite side. And I believe it was Franco Harris who saw it, who was ready, prepared, and blew up the play, and it just went nowhere. That speaks to preparation. Talk about that.
Yeah, and it is preparation. They have 2 sets that they like to screen in, and that's kind of a thing that we really watch for. And our kids did a great job of communicating because sometimes you can just plan all you want, but if you don't see it enough, if the kids don't see it in their head and they just don't react on their instincts, they just play frozen. And on screens, if you have flat feet, you're in trouble. So we saw it. Franco sniffed it out. And there was a couple other times they tried to run screens, and our kids just hit it. That's probably one of their best pass plays they have. But I got to give a lot of credit to Winslow. That number 3, the good kid. That number 5 has so much talent, so much speed. And I think they have one of the most talented type of athletes in our region. And, we'll see how far they can go.
Yeah. Coach Hathcock, okay, let's talk about a turning point in the game. Coming out in the second half, you had a 14-7 lead. And after you were forced to punt on your opening second-half possession, Winslow came down. They got the ball with a short field, and you got the ball at your 48-yard line, as a matter of fact. And 7 plays into that series for them, your defense stopped them at the 3-yard line. You stop them at the 3. And then you turn around and you go down the field the other direction, and you close out the third quarter into the fourth quarter with a 12-play drive that took exactly 7 minutes off the clock, and you finished.
Right.
You scored on a Seth Slaughter touchdown at the end of that.
Well, that was the whole game right there, and they always say defense wins championships, but truly speaking, our kicker actually tweaked his leg at the beginning of the game, so we had to go with our other kicker, Caesar. And so we weren't really getting height on the ball, and they did a great job returning it. But I tell you, David Simmons' play, that was a play of the game. Our safety got lost on the inside there, and David actually covered 2 people. They made one of the better plays you'll see all year. That was just pivotal in the game. And then, we capitalized by putting a 97-yard drive on it. And so I feel like Hunter Martinez and David Simmons are some of the better DBs that you'll see in 3A. And I've watched a lot of DBs, and I feel like they're up there.
Well, Coach, I didn't even have to pay you for that, so thank you for thanks for the kind words. And I happen to like that kid. The funny thing is he actually had made a really bad play, I don't know, 3 or 4 plays before that. Something went wrong. I can't remember what it was, and he did redeem himself. So I'm gonna feed him on the way home tonight, okay?
Quit watching your own kid. That's all I got to say. But, I like I tell our kids, though, let's be honest, like, it's not about that play.
Yeah.
Life is about redeeming yourself and learning from it. And I think our kids are good at that, and we trust them.
Yeah, no question. Coach, are you playing the best football of your year so far right now?
I think we can play better. I think we can execute some pass stuff better. And there was a lot of stuff we had planned that we were going to use. And we just didn't need it tonight. And, the only drive they really stopped us, the wrong call came in and kids were a little messed up. But, I feel like we executed the game plan kind of to perfection. We weren't, we hit a lot that we weren't going to show, so I'm pretty happy about that.
And if you're going to go to the playoffs, if you're going to get to the postseason, you had to win a game like this one, didn't you?
Yeah, it had to, and that's the thing. This was a trap game, and I told our kids this is Winslow's biggest game they've had in 5 years because they know how important this is to their community, their town. People are in the bleachers, and it hasn't really happened like that here in a long time. It was great to see the excitement. Coach Guzman's doing a heck of a job with his kids, and and our kids could have easily overlooked him and looked towards Round Valley, and we didn't. We kind of were a little bit flat. You probably saw that, but then we just hammered down and just kept getting 5-10, 5-10. I was still waiting for that big run to bust, but our running back Seth comes up to me and says, "Coach, I got my 50th carry," and he remembers when I got here a few months ago, I said running backs really don't see anything until about their 50th carry. So he put that in his heart, and he started seeing things a little bit. It was fun.
Coach, congratulations. A great win for you, a region victory. Your team could very easily right now be 6-1, but you get your 5th win on the year and maybe even crack the top 10 when the new rankings come out. We'll see about that. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Floyd. Love what you guys do.
You got it. Jeremy Hathcock, head coach of Blue Ridge. And the final score tonight, 28-7. Blue Ridge knocks off Winslow. And time to hit the road and make that long drive home. If you're listening on radio right now out there, we certainly would urge you to be careful, be safe, and let's all get home safely. Tomorrow night, let's run that graphic right there, if you don't mind. It's in the overlays there. Let's run that next game graphic because tomorrow night, everybody, tomorrow night, football fans, we got a big one for you, the biggest of the year yet in the 3A ranks. How about the number 2 ranked Round Valley Elks, undefeated, at the number 4 ranked and undefeated Show Low Cougars. That's our next broadcast. It's tomorrow night at Cougar Stadium in Show Low. It's homecoming for the Cougars tomorrow, and we can't wait to bring it to you right here at Sports Zone Radio, part of the Hatch Toyota Friday Night Football Show. The Friday Night Football Show will begin at 5 o'clock. Kickoff of the game broadcast tomorrow night is at 7, and you can watch it again right here on our Sports Zone Radio Facebook and YouTube channels. Listen for it on radio, on our broadcast partner across the White Mountains. And with that said, we do need to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Sports Zone Radio Network.
This is Sports Zone Radio. Champions play here at Sports Zone Radio.
And you're listening live and local on our broadcast partner across the White Mountains. That is Mix 98 KRFM Show Low, a broadcast service of Petrocom. And with that, we are back to our regular video and radio wrap-up here for you as we approach the top of the hour, about 5 minutes to 10 o'clock here from Winslow High School tonight. Great win for the Yellow Jackets. And I want to mention one more time our Sports Zone Radio Player of the Game. That's presented by White Mountain Regional Medical Center. We've got a great little overlay for White Mountain Regional Medical Center as well. Our brand newest sponsoring partner of Sports Zone Radio's activity, wherever we might go out there, and White Mountain Regional Medical Center joining us for the rest of the year to present, every time we come out for a broadcast, present the Player of the Game Award. So thank you to White Mountain Regional Medical Center in Springerville. And folks, tonight, the guy that collects that is that number 21 out there, Sergeant Slaughter, Seth Slaughter. He led that rushing attack tonight. I'm quite sure he had well north of 100 yards rushing. We did not have our stats on this one tonight. But the main thing is he scored all 4 touchdowns for the Yellow Jackets. And Seth, he gets the Sports Zone Radio's Player of the Game Award. And we want to thank White Mountain Regional Medical Center in Springerville. They present that award here for you tonight. You can go ahead and now take that back off the screen as well, guys. All right, that's going to do it and wrap it up from here. I want to thank our entire crew, thank our producer, Derek Simmons, the great production work that he does. His team putting together that video, that great video you're looking at, those great replays. He is also one of our. Well, he is a terrific cameraman, as you know as well, everybody. Want to thank Noah Anderson for his work tonight in the production, and also our technical director, and that was Big Joe Matthews doing this one for us tonight. Thank you, Joe. Well done. My broadcast partner tonight, the judge, B.J. Little, and his work here on the broadcast. Thank you, BJ, for being a part of it. For the entire crew, everybody, for the entire crew, my name is Floyd Simmons. Reminding you to join us once again tomorrow night because we've got a big one for you. Tomorrow night's broadcast, Show Low High School. Undefeated Cholo, ranked number 4 in the state, hosting for homecoming. Undefeated and number 2 ranked Round Valley. Find it right here at Sports Zone Radio. It's going to be a big one. Can't wait to bring it to you. Final score again tonight here at Winslow High School. Blue Ridge 28 and Winslow 7. We will see you next time on the Sports Zone Radio Game of the Week, presented by Hatch Toyota. God bless you. Good night from Winslow High School.